T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
LadyChann! Fight!
Yo, hey girl, it's LadyChann, rep none less, and welcome to Come Box with Chan. I made it in the building late as usual. I'm sorry. So it's totally pointless. Let me just get the banner going in the building. What up now, people? Let me get the banner and then I'll do the roll call. So let's just do the banner. Hey, she is I and I am her. Hey. Hang on, what's the show? The show is called the show is called, let's put it on here. Did I not have it on the, oh, here, there it is. I can turn you down a tad. Don't know, a tad. We shall see. So let's get the banner on and popping. We'll have, of course, Kenny Ken's update, World Cup 2022. We shall do in the buildings in Paris. So let me I'll see you. Let me get this all going. So it's Frank Martin, and I'm not gonna lie, man. Boxing was a myth for me this weekend. For one, the Showtime card wasn't available here. Wasn't available here at all. Hang on, let's see what I've gone over here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so let's go. Yeah, so Showtime didn't show us any time. They never do. They never ever do, because I don't know, Al Heyman don't like us. So we have to wait till somebody rips it off and puts it on their on YouTube, or you know. But Frank Martin defeats Rivera. Chris Billam-Smith. Chris Billam-Smith. CBS. God, all these long names. I've got a double barrel name as well, so I know how it bloody goes. It's annoying. Sometimes I just drop one out. Ready for Richard Riakporphe? Let's see. Riakporphe. What's his name? Riakporphe. Yeah. Silent thingy. And then we do, it's the weekly wrap-up TV show. Always have to find where my thing is. My hash, 1 sec. Because it's all different on this lappy. It's not like, we don't have one on the Mac. Hang on. Where you at? I just saw you. Where you at? Come on. Are you over here? Oh, come on. Come on. I can't be going that blind, can I? No, I cannot be. Because I just saw it. The hash. There you are. Fucking hell. Thing with these thingamajigs. Yeah, there you go. The weekly wrap up show. So I have to have it in hashtags. There we go. Okay. I'm reloaded. Let's do the members roll call and get it on and popping. This desk. This desk. Too much stuff on this desk. But hey, let's get a quick brush. All right, cool. Okay. No, how do I feel? I don't know. I don't have 2 lights anymore, so I feel like 1 minute I'm not well lit. Okay. Okay. Modern King Boxing in the building. Jimmy McClenny in the building. Ringside Report Live in the building. King Boxing in the building. What up, LadyChann? In the building. Queen Lisa Bales in the building. Stephen T in the building. Mark Niggity Nash in the building. Donald Banks in the building. New Media Today USA Boxing in the building. AJ All Day in the building. Charlo in the building. King TJ in the building. El Primero Aplata in the building. Dr. Paul in the building. Devil Beats in the building. My art to the left in the building. D-Style in the building. Dub Brightside in the building. Slim Boxing commentary in the building. Hector Garcia. Mi esposo numero uno. In the building. Mark in the building. Ricardo, mi hermano, in the building. Ben Adams in the building. ERF Boxing in the building. Don Juan in the building. Ya tú sabes. Ivo in the Ustania. Ivo, I do need to put it's my bad. I do need to put the thing out. Episode 1 in the Ustania. I promise I will. I was supposed to do it yesterday. Okay, let me get my co-host number 1. I'll see you guys in the chat. Sammy Ali, AJ All Day, Hector Garcia, see my esposo. What up, esposo? Okay. I'm introducing. 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 It is Kenny Ken in the building. What up, Kenny Ken? What's up?
Good evening, everyone. It's been like I couldn't help overhearing you bemoaning the fact that you didn't have much boxing coverage to look forward to, but you do. It's this time of the year. It's coming up to Christmas. You know, we don't have many shows, even in England. Normally, last week before Christmas, you know, we have some really good shows, and we had some crackers the last few years. You know, Anthony Joshua fighting for defending his title against Pulev. We had Dillian White the week before Christmas against.
Who's it, you mean?
No, Pulev in the Christmas in 2020. Remember that one last week? December. I'm talking about pre-Christmas fights. We defending his title against Pulev in Wembley Arena.
Yeah, that's right.
And then and then a couple of years before that, we had pre-Christmas fight with Derek Chisora and Dillian White. So all we've had this week in Boxer have served up Chris Billam-Smith with a bit of Caron Dubois on the thing. So it's not been great, but I think boxing put their hands up in defeat because of the World Cup. I think.
Yeah, to be honest, that is very right. The World Cup came in, and we will talk about that. The World Cup came in, it saw, and it conquered in the building, didn't it? So yeah,
won't be like that next year.
Well, it's no World Cup next year. 4 years.
What
for the qualifiers.
We're going to have, but what's happened is that we're going to have, I think throughout the year there's a lot of scores to settle in terms of the big fights. 2023 has to be a year of the big fights. Has to be.
I don't think the public can take anymore. Yeah.
No, I'm talking about boxing, but like in terms of the fights we want to see, if we don't see them now, I think what's happened is boxing's in great danger of losing its audience. Yeah, because there's every weight division now has got fights that the public need to see, need to see. And if they don't get their fights in 2023, then I don't know. I fear for boxing's future. I really do, because you can't mess people up. Fans are out. You've got no excuses now. No excuses.
I know. Let's look forward to see if boxing does deliver for us, or if it disappoints us. Mate, I lose the will on it sometimes. I'm not gonna lie. Just like even today, like I was thinking, what do I even title the show? Because there wasn't really. Boxing was boring again this week. Part 3.
Well, there was some thing about boxing is that it's not just the fights because you know there's not a fight every week, but you think about it, you know, the 2 fights that you've highlighted, there's been a couple of call outs, you know. Frank Martin's called out a couple of top fighters. One fighter says he's ready to go and fight him, and then you look at billam-smith. You already titled you know, a bit of beef with Richard Riakporphe. So again, those are the talking points that you know that fans actually enjoy those talking points a lot more than actually the actual fights.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
There's always something to do in boxing. It's not like football. You know, boxing podcasts and football podcasts are not about fights or the matches. A lot more happens outside it, which is just as interesting.
Sorry, Mike. I like Mike, then it makes a shadow. Yeah, that was the only thing that I could get, like, that I'd scraped from the, you know, the bottom of the ice cream bowl, like, or ice cream tub. Like, there was some beef, you know, where I saw a bit of Richard Riakporphe having his point of view in, you know, what he saw. Shall we get the others on? Do you want to get the others on?
Yes, please.
Okie doke,
yes,
so we can all come together. I'm going to get cussed for this auto malfunction. Fucking hell, mate. It was the quickest option. Leave me alone. Introducing, introducing, introducing. Oh, I got to do this in one foul swoop. KOK Boxing, Ivo, and AJ all day in the building.
Hi, everyone.
What up, Ivo? In the Uzdania. What up, AJ all day? AJ one day. And what up, King of King? What up, LadyChann? Boxing.
Hey.
Well, how's it hanging?
To the left.
I
kid. I already get called Lady Man, so let me just not,
No, the correct response is shriveled up and to the right. Come on now. Get it right.
To the right. Yeah, but remember, Ivo, I'm black.
Oh, okay.
So, you know,
right.
I to the left and it's never shriveled. I joke. Everyone's like, whoa, she is a man. But anyway, go ahead. What's up? Where's it? Is Edward here?
Yeah, I'm here. What's up, y'all? Hey, what's up, Kenny?
You sick, man?
What's up, AJ?
Hi, everyone. Hi, King of Kings. Hi, AJ.
Hey, shouts out to Ivo, man. Let's stay up in the trees.
Hi, Ivo.
Damn straight. Only ever up in the trees.
Yeah, you stay up in the trees. Yeah, that's where you lot walk. You walk with the gods. As high up with the gods.
Hey, you know, don't feel too bad for not seeing the fight. You know, it is showtime, so.
Dead. It's dead. Wow, there's a lot of you here. Hang on, let me just call out everybody that's here. Shouts out to Sammy Ali. Lisa Bales, Tycho TV. What up, Tycho? What up? Done them season in the building. Yeah, that's right. Who else is here? Our money's here as well. Big say so. Yeah. All right, shout out to you guys. Massively appreciate it for you to be passing through. You know. Okay. So let's get me up here. Okay. So I'm waiting for so Kenny Ken. I don't know if you guys saw the Sky card. I literally was in and out of sleep. I turned it on when billam-smith thought I fell asleep. And I know it was a round 5 knockout, but I didn't predict to knock out this time. I predicted to go to the distance, but he scored a knockout against geezer's name that I can't pronounce, begins with an X. Armen. I call him Ahmed. What's his first name? Armen. You know who I'm talking about, Kenny.
I'm struggling with the name. It begins with X, but I don't know whether he's Albanian.
Yeah. I know. His first name is something like Armen. Yeah, Armend.
Yeah.
Or something like that. So we'll just keep it at Armend.
One thing about
go ahead.
One thing about Ahmed is that Ahmed was game. I think he got a bit greedy, and I think that's what led to his downfall. Because I think, you know, when you've got your fighter hurt, I can understand the temptation is to go and try and take him out and try and throw the same punch. But because in the second round he did buzz Chris Billam-Smith, and he was like using a bit of his speed, getting him to the body, buzzed him, and I think as Chris Billam-Smith got into the fight, I think Ahmed got a bit greedy, and when I always say when fighters get greedy, like I said, the feet are not bad, but it's the hands get slower because when they're trying to load up, what's happening is that you've got someone like Chris Billam-Smith who's got a height advantage, got a good jab, and what's happening with when Ahmed's hands are lower in the 5th round, that's when he's primed for a combination, because if the first one buzzed him was the right hand, then it was a left hook, then it was another right hand, and by the time he's primed for the uppercut that takes him out, his hands get lower and lower because of simple reasons. It's a product of the fact that he had a bit of success, got greedy, hands get lower, then all of a sudden, because the hands are low and his reflexes are slow, uppercut, boom. He was knocked out before he hit the ground.
Yeah, I saw that. I mean? Wow. Yeah. He was asleep. Was he quite a smaller? He was a bit smaller lad though, wasn't he?
He's about 5'10". Chris Billam-Smith's about 6'2".
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. His building, he was high. Yeah, I thought if I would have really researched into him, because I didn't, I probably would. I could have probably predicted a knockout. But I mean, did any of you guys see that fight? I know the American lads sometimes get to see the Sky cards too much, depending how they're viewing. So, did any of you guys get to see that?
Just the knockout on Twitter. It was that was nasty stuff by CBS. That was.
I'm in the same boat as Jay. Just the highlights.
Yeah.
But I predicted to go to points too, Chan. You're not the only one. So
yeah, you predicted the points because I predicted points last time when he fought, and he did go points. King, you didn't see it.
I didn't watch no boxing this weekend.
So I know today. This week is like, no, I didn't see it. You're going to hear that for me in the next few things. So what I'm going to say is with Chris Billam-Smith, CBS, Richard Riakporphe will knock him out.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah, he's not a world. They're saying, do you think he gets a world title in a very weak, thinned out? And if the division thins out, then maybe. But nah, like listen.
No, not if he has to go through. Yeah. If he goes to Richard to do it, no. That's where that's where the buck stops there.
Exactly.
I mean, I know where they fought once before. I didn't see it. I know that we react poor decision, but I think he'll knock him out in a rematch.
Yeah,
because they both have improved, but Rich Riakporphe has gotten a lot better, I believe. And the dude has got fire. He's got dynamite in his hands. And if he hits you clean, he could take you out, man. He really could.
Yeah. And he's Richard Riakporphe is very big for the weight as well. He wants to go up.
He can go to heavy, honestly. I think so.
He wants to go to heavyweight. So I think he just wants to accomplish a bit more at thingy. Because remember, he has to be fast tracked. How old is he, Kenny? Riakporphe's like 30. I want to say about 32.
Check it. He must be about 30.
32.
30.
I think he's 32, 33.
32, 33 even, yeah.
31 years old. He was born in January of 1990.
31.
Yep.
Right.
So he's about 32, isn't he?
Yeah. He's probably looking to be 32. So, all right, 31, 32.
Checking there.
Yeah, so they have to fast track him and get him a world title real quick, muy pronto. Because, time's ticking. He's come in the game pretty much really late, to be honest. And then he had a hiatus, I think when he was about 29, he had a bit of a hiatus and he took a bit of time out of the ring, if my memory serves me correct. Usually does. I don't really see CBS going anywhere, to be honest, as some world beater for the cruiserweight division. And he's just not skilled. He's not skilled enough.
Especially he's a in 2 rounds. In the second round, he got stunned by this guy before he knocked him out.
Stunned, yeah. He's just not skilled enough. He's not. Kenny, do you think he can be a world beater in the cruiserweight?
Chris Billam-Smith.
Yeah. I'm even skeptical with Riakporphe. Riakporphe can do it, but I mean, Riakporfe's got his limitations. I always call him Deontay Wilder out of the cruiserweight. He'll lose on the card until he knocks you out.
Thing with Christian Smith, Riakporfe's got power, and it's really big power. But the thing with Christian Smith is that he does put his punches together in a much better, cleaner way than a Richard Riakporfe. But the thing about Christian Smith is that there's times when he takes risks. He's sometimes his defense isn't the greatest. And he does try to have a bit of a pile-on. He does get into like how I say it, tit for tat fights. You know what I mean? He likes to get him, a bit of tear up. And if he gets to tear out Richard Riakporfe, he doesn't hurt Richard Riakporfe. Richard Riakporfe can just walk through those punches, knock him out.
That's what it
knock out. Because the thing is, you think about Isaac Chamberlain. Isaac Chamberlain was probably, if Isaac Chamberlain had more belief in himself and actually started the fight a bit. Didn't start the fight late. It could have gone either way because Isaac Chamberlain's got some boxing ability, but he's another one who, again, inactivity, killed him. But in terms of Richard Riakporfe, you look at the whole division. The biggest elephant in that division. Again, what the hell's going on with Lawrence Collier? What the hell's going on? I don't know whether he's with Matchroom or he's a free agent. We don't know what's going on with that guy.
Oh well, we can actually talk about that because that's a part of the news of the week. So as we know, Lawrence Coley had come out in it and called Eddie Hearn all these types of names and stuff like that, calling him a slave driver, likened him to Django or something, Unchained and stuff like that. And I watched Lawrence Coley. He's now come out and been able to talk a little bit more about stuff. He's still under legal duress. Eddie has got him in court. Lawrence Coley is saying that Eddie Hearn, basically, he thought he had one more fight left on his contract, which was the last fight that he had in the what was it? It was under restrictions, wasn't it? The last Lawrence Coley fight,
pandemic or behind closed doors.
Yeah, what was this like? Whoever he last fought.
It was the
pandemic time. How long has he ain't fought for? It had to be pandemic then. Not pandemic, but in the mud of it, in the midst of it. Like, when did he fight then? Last year or?
It was Siaslak. That was earlier this year, I think.
Was it early this year? So
it was, yeah.
He thought that would meet the terms and conditions, the criteria of his contract. But Eddie was like, no, because we had to have restrictions, and we didn't charge something about limited gate or something, so we couldn't maximize our money on that. So that's not a part of your contract. Now, you know what? Throwing caution to the wind, I'm actually now understand where Lawrence Coley's coming from, because you would have thought if you've got one more fight left on your contract and that was your last fight that you had, you wouldn't have fought because it was in the bubble or under COVID restrictions, right, that didn't satisfy your contract.
Yeah, they's coming out and saying, "Oh, that doesn't count." I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. Like, was that specified to him before or after? You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
So I can understand why he's disgruntled, so to speak.
Yeah. So
I don't know why he just doesn't let him go. Just let him leave. You know what I mean? Like, who cares? I mean, it's like don't waste any more time and resources promoting this guy. Like, if he wants to leave, just let him go and just worry about the rest of your stable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just let him go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Okoli's not this like fucking big name household
superstar
name
or anything like that. Exactly.
So he still has the WBO belt in junior heavy, but
I mean, it's not like everybody's clamoring at the bit to fight him anyway, too, either. You know what I mean? It's hard for him to unify. Breedis was playing games, couldn't get him in the ring. Then he freaking lost to Gio Pataya. Then who else has the belts? Arsene Goulamarian. That's a nice.
And I think Ilunga Makabu still has the WBC belt.
Yeah, he still got it. Yeah, and that's not going to happen. So
Lawrence Coley has to satisfy his IBF. I think mandatory. Is it IBF?
WBO.
WBO.
God bless Alunga Makabu. He's single-handedly holding up Don King Promotions.
The whole division with no one, and you know what? He could, if Lawrence Okoli has to fight him, Lawrence Okoli's going to blitz him. Can I just take a time out just to shout out to my mate Ayak in the building? Shouts out to you, Yogs. I know. She's like, oh shit, you lie. She's texting me, like my friend. She's texting me. She's like, oh, I just can see that you lie. So shouts out to you, Ayak in the building. Yeah, let's give her a round of applause. That's my friend.
Wait, Austin Gulamarian, he still has a WBA belt, right?
Yeah. He's got WBA, and Jail Pataya won the IBF from RS Breeders, who had it before him. So
then looking at it, this is a really like scattered division right now.
It is,
because good luck getting a unification of fucking Don King. Good luck with that. I mean, God bless.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the rankings. It's just very, very scattered right now.
I'm hearing the guy who just got ordered to fight, Lawrence Okoli, David Light. He fought Brandon Glatton in his last fight, and I'm hearing from a reliable source that he lost that fight. Landon actually won, and he got hard done by. I've been trying to watch it ever since, but I can't find a copy of it anywhere.
Funny enough, I'm seeing Badu Jack climb up.
Yeah.
In some of these rankings, specifically the WBA ranking, but I don't see him beating Arsen.
No, I mean,
I really don't.
Yeah, I don't like his chance again. Maybe he'll beat Makabu, maybe, but I don't like.
I remember how he looked in his last fight, man. He looked very much so beatable.
Yeah, it was shaky. It was real shaky.
Yeah. So
the man is pushing 40 now, almost. I think.
Yeah, he ain't no spring chicken.
No,
Badu.
The Badu Jack.
Badu Jack. Yeah. Because he's come up from divisions, isn't he? Wasn't he at one? What was Badu started at? 154, 160, 168?
Yeah, 1.1.
Yeah, he wasn't a big boy.
Yeah.
Guys, am I reading this? Am I reading this right? I don't know, because I haven't really been following it because I've been so immersed with football. But Lawrence Okoli, I don't know when this was. Maybe you guys have seen it. Maybe it's an old one. But he says Eddie Hearn has wanted £500,000 from me for my freedom.
Yeah, to take him out of the contract. 600 grand he wanted.
Yep.
Yeah. And
all of his fights put together aren't worth 600 grand.
Floyd did that and paid Floyd betted on himself and paid Bob 600 grand. Got out and made $1 billion.
Yep.
Well, we're not saying that will be Lawrence Okoli, by the way, but I mean, at the end of the day, if you really want to bet on yourself, it's either you do that or you just do your one fight, mate, and then you fuck off and go to Sky Boxer, who are overpaying people by like ridiculously just to kind of trump on Eddie, and all that's going to happen is when their money starts to when they start seeing that they're not getting any returns on the people that they're signing and overpaying, you're going to see it start getting restricted and them reining back budgets. Right now, it looks like, you remember when Eddie first come out with Game Changed, and then everybody was splashing money. PBC, same thing. Al Heyman. Now look, them broke.
Yep.
Well, yes. Eddie at least had the excuse of it's a new platform. New platform. You got to entice people, but
and he hasn't taken back too much. He still pays really decent. Yeah, shouts out to him. I mean, Sky Boxer, I've totally overpaid for everyone.
The reason why Sky Boxer have done that, you've got to remember, Eddie Hearn has a sort of Eddie Hearn has an A list and a B list. Yeah. A lot of people who've left Matchroom to go to Sky Boxer.
We needed a freeze.
If you don't mind me saying so, they won't.
You're frozen. Now you're back now.
Oh, sorry. Am I frozen?
Oh, yeah. It wouldn't be a show if you didn't freeze.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. But what I'm trying to say is that if you think about all the people that Boxer are overpaying, with respect, a lot of those people weren't exactly A-listers and like headliners on Matchroom, so they've gone over in order to try and be a headline on Sky. But the thing with Sky is that the transition between Matchroom and Boxer is still needs a bit of work, because really and truly they haven't had that signature fight, But you think about it, they've had the pay-per-view. They had the pay-per-view with Khan and Brooke, and they got another pay-per-view with Chris Eubank Jr. So that's a big one next year in January. Chris Eubank Jr. and Liam Smith. Again, in terms of like the interest, that could give it a shot on the arm, but they're going to need a lot of their B-list ex-matchroom fighters to actually step up to the plate. That's the only way they can do it, because that's the big problem. If you go onto the zone, there's still some big good fights out there with Eddie Hearn. And I hate to say it, because I'm not an Eddie Hearn fan, but fair is fair. You've got to be unbiased when you talk about your promoters, and you have to be fair. Eddie Hearn's still got. I look over at Matchroom, and I think, I like to watch that. All right, I'd rather watch it on a TV than a computer, but I would like those fights. He's still got Anthony Joshua. He's still got Dillian White. So,
we've still got AJ. We've still got White.
Exactly.
He's still got
and he has Bevo right now, so
so
he does got some.
He's got Bivol. Yeah. My crush. Love me some Bivol, boy. I love Bivol. I do. Sorry, I love him. But everybody just knows that CHANN has got a crush on Dimitri Bivol. That's crazy. I really do. So I'd love to meet him, because I respect him as a boxer.
I bet you would.
No. No, I'd like to meet him because I just think that he's a great boxer, what he's achieved. Would we give Bivol MVP of this year? Would we give him?
I would.
Would we give him Fighter of the Year? Because I think I would.
Yeah,
he's earned it.
I would.
Yeah.
Beating the cash cow and then dominating Gilberto Ramirez the way he did. Yeah, he's a front runner for sure.
Here's my mate, Aya. Dem bro. Aya in the competition. Dem bro. Dem bro. This is my friend here. Shout out that I was just shouting out. So now look, she's gonna come and we do our stupid bands, and now don't make me do our silliness here, because I'll just laugh all the way through the show, Yokes. But nice to have you there, Yokes.
Personally, I think Danny Garcia 160 is Fighter of the Year. Personally.
Oh yeah, Danny Garcia at
160.
What?
Never fought at 160.
We talking about 160?
He's
top 10, homie.
He's top 10. He's Fighter of the Year right now. Like him and Sergio, 90-year-old
Sergio Martinez, #1 contender.
You missed the show, AJ. Where guys, explain what it was.
Oh yeah, give me the rundown.
Go up on the WBA ranking system for 160 and just see that they have Danny Garcia as top 10 in the WBA and Sergio Martinez at 60 is at top 5, I think.
Oh God!
Like this 160 is. Man.
I mean, this is either a testament to how great of a division 160 is, or it's just testament to how great Danny Garcia is.
Danny Garcia is a part-time fighter.
Danny Garcia has never fought at 160. Period.
This
so
how do you rank a guy
he shouldn't be there at all.
Well,
he's like number 5.
Welterweight 160. It's only 13 pounds. It's. Now, if you squint your eyes hard enough, you can even say Lomachenko's like the top 10 welterweight. Easily. It's just a matter of perspective,
Easily. I can't believe we couldn't believe that. In fact, let me write that down, because I was supposed to when I was supposed to chop that up and release that as well. That was, what show was that on though?
That was like that long ass 9-hour show we had.
Yeah.
Oh, was that on? Oh yeah. So that was last
9 hours.
Wrap up show. We did 9 hours, Ken.
No way.
I know. Yeah.
Out towards the end, that's how fire it was. It was
a
9
good show.
hours.
Yeah, it was a good show. The first, you remember after you left? Remember, Kenny, when the Errol Spence geezer, Israel came.
Ben Israel.
How can I forget?
Yeah, it was Jerry Springer. Jerry.
How was that?
Where's the other guy?
Which one was? Whoever it was.
He was one of ours. He was one of ours. Arguing with yeah.
Oh, it was Jimmy. It was
Jimmy.
Yeah. Jimmy came back and he rocked for a little bit. Came back on but we was on for 9 hours. After all that got dislodged, Ben left and all of that. Then we really just got back to our, you know, back to normality in the Bundesliga.
Didn't they try to turn us off that night too? Like didn't it just cut
Yeah,
off?
oh yeah, then
they came right back.
They turned off my live as well. My live got turned off, Kenny Ken, and then it got turned right back on. It was off, and then they turned it back on. I'm entirely not sure. Sometimes you get haters that try to report your channel, and what YouTube do, they quickly have to assess. So what they do, they'll sometimes just intervene your live, shut it down, and have the AI quickly do a quick scan of it. And if it like, they'll just put it back up. Yeah.
So that's where $10 are going.
The second time. Yeah, that's what it does. It's like, you know, oh yeah, so this is what fucking YouTube does. They do this. YouTube does
Computer. Establish a security code for access to all functions previously transferred to Bridge.
Enter code.
173467321 Charlie 32 789777 643 Tango 732 Victor 73117888 732 476789764376 lock.
Security code intact for all specified inquiries and orders.
Yeah, that's what it does. It scans like that. It scans everything, and then it's like, all right, I can have it back on lock. So that's what they did. Yeah. Yeah, so it's all good. It's all good. It was a really good live. I will chop some bits off. Let me just tell you guys as well. So today is the 20th, is it? So
Yes,
today's the 20th. So today's the 20th. I'm gonna go live again tomorrow, and probably the last members only live on Thursday, because I'm literally having like a couple of weeks off. I'm not going to come back until the second week of January. Shani needs a break. So, yeah. So, I know. Yeah, but so I'll have a little break, and I'll still be like, I do news reports and stuff like that. But as far as going live and stuff like that, I just need a bit of a break, you know, have a Kit Kat and refresh and come again. Selector. So yeah, but I will be uploading like episodes and stuff like that of, you know, the content that we have got. And you know, I still got Ivo, still got Steve Kim, I still got Hasim Rahman, and somebody else, a couple other things. So, you know, to upload episodes. So there will always still be uploads. It's just get a bit. You sometimes need to take a little chill pill. Have people appreciate, maybe they appreciate you better when you're gone. Do you know what I mean? For a little minute, they're like, "Oh, will you lot miss me? Tell me."
Chan, you already know the answer.
There was silence. There's silence.
You know the answer. You know the answer.
Well, yeah, tell me then, Ken. I need to hear it. I don't know it. Yeah, I know. I'll miss you lot too.
No, you know, look, the answer is yes, but you know what? You know, we're sometimes we're going to be shits passing by, because, you know, with the one Monday Arsenal playing, so obviously I'm on Arsenal duties. So there's one Monday.
What Monday is that?
Monday, I think it's Monday the 9th of January. We got Oxford at Oxford, so that's going to be an all day. That's going to be an all night one for me.
All right, thank you for telling me that, because then I know that you're.
Apart from that, I'm all yours.
Yeah, I know you're back with us. Yeah, I know. And Ken, people love, like, literally, my friend, shouts out to Jeddy. He hit me up and he was just like, going live today with Kenny. Like, he goes, sis, he's from Australia. He's like, sis, I really love Ken's updates. Shouts out to Stephen T as well. He left that in the comments. Really love Ken's updates on the World Cup. It's been amazing. It's been phenomenal. And just going forward, I'd just like you to keep up with any football at the end, you know, before you leave for the night. Give us Premiership.
Thanks,
you know.
No, I'll definitely do that. Definitely do that, because I think as I've been to loads of boxing meets, and some of the people I see at football matches from Arsenal fans and even opposition fans, they go, bloody hell, what are you doing? And I say, well, what are you doing? He goes, and then we just laugh, because we didn't realise amongst all of us that we're all boxing fans as well. Like I used to always like think, no, they're just casuals. But in some of the meets, I've seen so many people who I've seen that, you know, you know, opposition fans at fights, and you know, obviously there's a lot of boxing fans who don't like football, and that's fine because you know we could still break bread, and like sometimes my wife gets involved. Sometimes you know at hotels, all of us sit around the hotels, and what boxers are walking past, we're all talking about the fight. So that's how I've been brought up in the boxing and the football.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's great.
Great.
Yeah, no, it'd be great. And guys, can I just ask you guys, all everyone in my chat and stuff, like, really, could you make some like donations? Because I would like to, you know, break off some donations for Kenny Ken when he comes in on the Mondays. Do you know what I mean? Like for his contribution. So it's like it's important that you do donate to the channel, just like how you donate to DAZN, just how you donate to Sky, just how you donate to BT, just how you donate to Fight TV, just how you donate to PBC and, you know, or Showtime or, you know, or Fox or whatever, you know, when they've got the PBC fighters on there. So yeah, it is important. It also keeps the lights on, but you know, when you've got someone that's coming that's giving you boxing content like Kenny, and also you know, expert opinions and very well informed. I don't know anyone more informed on football than Kenny, especially coming from the boxing community. So it's important that, you know, donations, like, you know, okay. Shouts out to Kenny in the business. There we go. So yeah. Cheers, Kenny Ken. Yeah. So okay. So yeah, that's where I am. Yeah, the Russian Yogi, the Russian. Yeah, I like him. Yeah. Yeah. So tying up. So yeah. So I will go because I thought it was already like the 22nd or something today, and I was like, oh, it's only the 20th. So I can do a little couple of runs. And then yeah, Arsenal, my friends Arsenal, Kenny Ken, Arsenal. I can do a couple of runs and for the next couple of days. And there's some other things. I may wonder if I'll just do it as a separate live because we got Errol Spence talking a load of shit. Didn't we?
You mean Butterbean Spence?
Yeah.
Cheeseburger Spence?
Built like a fucking baller, bro.
I've seen you lot tagging me all over Twitter, dragging me into the thing. I'm like, I've looked and there's like, you've tagged me about 20 billion times. I kid you not. About, you know, how Spence looked at the bloody fight with so we could tie it in actually because we're going to move on to we'll move on to Rivera and we'll move on to Martin Rivera. Frank Martin, as you know, is you know 135. Are they 135ers?
Yep.
135 pounders who he fights under the wing of Errol Glitch Jr. And then we have Little Ali, but you know, Rivera.
My ass.
Yeah, we're gonna have to change that, and he had it all on the shorts and everything. But shouts out to Ring IQ and Lisa Bales as well, and the group, because you guys kept me informed of how it was going round for round, you know. So I did want to. I'm not gonna lie, right? I picked Rivera. I'll tell you why. I was gonna pick Martin. I'm aware. I watched tape. I've seen Rivera fight a couple of times. And he absolutely is a pure boxer, whereas Frank Martin is the come forward, aggressive power puncher for his little size. And I just thought, okay, so there's a big height discrepancy. You know, Rivera's really tall. He's really big for a 135 pounder. I think he's about 5'10" or something like that. And he was coming to the fight 24-0, and I think Martin comes in at 15-0. So somebody's old's gotta go. So it's always interesting when it's that type of fight. So I always know it's going to be a 50-50 type of vibe. I was going to go for Frank Martin, but I decided to go with who I thought was the better boxer. Who I thought was the better boxer. Do you know what I mean? Frank Martin isn't the better boxer. I don't know. He isn't, because he's like I said, he's a bit of a combination of both. He can move forward and he can counter punch, and he's very strong, and he's got fast hands as well.
More athletic too.
Yeah. And he's good. Yeah, he can move, right? So but Martin is quite fluid. I mean, Rivera's quite fluid, and he has a really good jab, usually, usualmente. but so he can keep you at the end of it. But I don't know. I had seen him. He had been dropped before, so I know he could be. His ass can hit the canvas. But overall, he's got. Well, I thought he had decent fundamentals, and I think he was proven to be not as decent with that 24-0 record. Not showing him in the best light. It showed a lot of holes in his game. You know, he had a good right. He had a good counter right. Seen little bits, a good counter right. But I heard, and when I was watching you guys, I think he started to, you know, stop with the jab. I think it was like the first round was a swing round, but I reckon like you could have edged it to Rivera. Then the second round was a Martin round, and then the third round is when Martin started to take the lead, and then from then. I heard Rivera basically never ever caught up. So who saw it? And let's
I watched it.
Let's go with AJ.
I
AJ, I was listening to you on commentary on IQ.
Yeah, it's pretty much just like you explained, Chan. Rivera got off to a decent start. But you know, after round 4 on, Frank just shut him out. I mean, he had the better IQ, better boxing. He outboxed the boxer. Like which I didn't see coming. I don't think anybody did. You know, and he actually scored a knockdown. It was a flash knockdown, but he dropped Rivera late in the fight. I think it was around to the mid rounds. I can't recall which one it was, but Rivera just showed no adjustments, man. He didn't make any adjustments. He just kept doing the same thing, 1-2 simple movements. And I think by the time, because he at first he was having a lot of success with the straight what was it? He's orthodox. He was it the straight right? I believe he caught Frank a few times with that, and I think Frank just caught on eventually afterwards, and he couldn't really land that shot anymore. But you know, just them and Frank did his thing, and just Rivera just showed no adjustments. I wish he would get a haircut now. Overall things. So,
Put that flap away. Would you say was there any time that that Rivera's in trouble? Like
a couple times, a little more than once. Like that's like all Frank's got to do really, because you're already outboxing him pretty much. All you got to do is just apply some pressure and get off some combinations and really just take it to this guy, because you could stop him I felt he could stop him if you wanted, but you know Frank, but he fought a cautious fight, and because I picked Frank to win, believe it or not, I picked him to win by knockout. I picked him to stop Rivera, but it is what it is.
Rivera split.
Yeah, but it is what it is. It's cool. He got the win by UD, which is which a lot of people probably didn't see coming, and that's what it is. So you know.
Let me see what's up. No, I picked Rivera UD. Yeah, I felt confident. I thought he could outbox Frank Martin. Ivo, you watched. Yep. Was you on Ring IQ's?
No, I was on there later on just because I got off work a little late. But yeah, I saw the fight. Martin's good. You know, Martin's pretty good. I've seen him. He's a pretty good fighter. I think people are a little high on him, a little too high on him after this win. So Martin has that tendency towards the defensive hand movements that are like spastic. They're really spastic and not really educated. His feints are also in that same light. So his management of the distance with his lead hand, feet, and like hand defense, it's good, but like I feel like he'll struggle against better competition. So for example, personally, like again, this is just my opinion. Frank will be lucky if he gets a 1 belt, like if he's gonna be a 1 belt champion, on the actual merit of just like, you know, the promotion, all that bullshit I'm not gonna even talk about. But he's 27 years old. His frame's pretty much filled out to the point that I think he'll have stamina issues if he tries to climb up past 140. And he doesn't have any remarkable physical traits, like his speed or his power are not extraordinary. His boxing skill is relatively good. He'll have some success. I think people are just a little too high on him personally.
Yeah, because what do you need to see more? Because I wasn't.
I need to see more.
Yeah, I'm not like
I do.
I need to see more.
I think he impressed people, but it's like he still got a lot to do, man. I mean,
exactly.
The buck doesn't stop there, you know. I mean, it's there's some PBC guys I like to see him in with, like put him in with a Rolly and Isaac Cruz. Those aren't bad options for his next fight.
Exactly. It's just like it's the same issue at hand. This is something I see almost for every PBC fighter, and this is not me being like, oh, anti-PBC. It's like one win, pound for pound, right there. Like he beat that one dude, and you guys are already putting him on this like pedestal, and I'm just like, with all respect to Michelle, quote unquote, Ali Rivera, like, come on now. He was never like this high fucking ceiling of like opponent that it's a good win. He looked good, but put him in there against like someone else, like one of these people who were like proven at 135.
Yeah, but who says he's a world beater based on that fight?
I've seen a lot of people on Twitter already call him a world beater.
Y'all gotta stop paying attention to people that don't know shit about boxing. I give him all the props I give him is it's a nice progressive step. It's nice to see two undefeated guys that are young, willing to put their own on the line and see who's the best and progress from there. He's not no world beater. He's not world level. He's not technically even a contender right now. He's a prospect, and that's what it is. I've already against another prospect and kind of eliminate him. So he's still prospect level. Do it, So it's like we're like in no place of like I said, people what it's the hype train. They want something new because I mean let's keep it real. Boxing's lame. Like 135 is lame outside of Devin Haney. Like all those dudes ducked and ran up to 140. So they're trying to find something. But Frank Martin, if right now you put him against the champion, because there's only one champion in that division, he gets washed. So he's a prospect early, and guys I guess getting excited about it, but still a lot of work.
I've already on just again, I can only say from what I see personally, I've already seen people like making this proposed fight of him versus Shakur, and I'm just like, well, you want him to lose right after a win.
But he's not going to fight you.
I know, but the point I'm getting at is like after one win, this is just something. This is not even like indicative of PBC. It's just indicative of boxing fans as a whole. One win, it's like, what have you done for me recently? One win, and it's like, oh yeah, he's world beater. It's like, no, settle down, give it a minute. Like, can he do this consistently against improving names? Like,
yeah,
Again, I think he's good. I think he has a relatively good like ceiling. I just think people are really high on him over a win that was not. It's honestly the boots syndrome. That's what I've called it. It's my trademark. Don't take my trademark.
There it is. No,
yep. It's the boots syndrome.
Did you patent it?
It's patented. You can't take that. I have 2 patents. Okay, that and the appeal to fanboyism. You cannot take those. Those are mine.
Damn
okay.
It.
All right, those 2 are mine. You can't steal those.
I mean, it's like he's good. We don't know how good.
Exactly. It's like everyone talks about the eye test. It really is a boots scenario. It's like, well, who is he actually beaten? You can't get high on a man who hasn't beaten anyone just because he looks good.
Yeah.
It's the same way you can't say Isaac Cruz is a world beater after he lost because of the manner upon which he lost. It's a farcical statement.
Yeah. And guys, I've just pulled up hearing what you just said. So I just pulled up. I thought let me look at Michelle Rivera's because I wanted to see his resume. He's been suspended by the Nevada Athletic Commission until the 17th of January.
Oh, that's typical. I think that happens when most fighters lose or after a fight.
Yeah, they do. That
happens often. That happens often. That's common.
Yeah, they suspend you for 30 days after a fight.
Yeah, that's common. It's common.
You got stopped.
Yeah.
When you get stopped,
it's most times regardless if you lose. Especially Nevada's real strict. That's why it's 30 days. It's exactly 30 days.
I was thinking, no, he didn't ingest something that was okay. So
it's common occurrence that happens frequently. Yeah, for most fighters. Yeah. So.
Wow, I was just okay.
If it's said indefinitely, then it's a problem.
Yeah. His best win. I'm just trying to see his best win. Let me share so you guys can have a look. So we can figure out who this dude's best win. But we will be coming back in the new year with some. Oh yeah. Fuck, I forgot, guys. We do have to give you the resume conclusion of Spence and Thingy, don't we, AJ and Edward? Forgot about that.
Yes.
We get that done before. So that has to be this week. So it means if I have to do double lives, I literally will just bang as much lives out.
We're gonna squeeze in a rewatch too, or are we?
We could do. We could
personally.
I'll lay out the choices.
I wouldn't mind seeing more of these in-depth analysis of just fighters and their resumes. Those are actually very fun to watch.
They are very much so. I learn a lot as well. So shouts out to King of King really put in some great work. There At first, it was myself and him, and then AJ came through the Uzdanya and came and put in some great work. So I mean, yeah, no, moving forward, we're definitely. I've got a separate playlist now for that. So if you guys check out my playlist on my channel, so we now have to do the conclusion. So we will be doing, people's resumes. People, sometimes. That there's paired up people that are like rivals. Sometimes because Bud Spence. So it was quite easy to, use them as the kickstart to this. And sometimes it won't even be rivals. It will just be certain people's, that we decide to pick. Who shall we do? There's some people that's obvious they've got trash resumes. So we don't always have to, go in there. But we really want to deep dive on the fighters' best wins, and sometimes best wins. So, that's a deep dive. So you guys can see this, right? Let me see. Who do we give his best win to? God, Jerry Perez.
The guy he just lost to.
Yeah.
That would be the best fighter on his resume, but who's his best win?
Yeah, no, I know. Let's see.
God.
Jeez.
Okay, so he has had some undefeated and taken people's lives, but they're nobodies.
I don't know who these guys are.
Acevedo. I don't know. There's an asterisk before that. Oh, God, I can't. They're no star fighters. Some of them are unranked. They're unranked.
Honestly,
resume. We need to thank Al Heyman. Is he under Al Heyman? This guy.
I think
PBC.
Michelle's best win, like in quote unquote, like best like KO, would probably be like John Fernandez. Honestly, like that was like the most aesthetically appealing win, I would say.
Is he with PBC?
He is.
Yeah. So I would say that was his best looking win. Was probably John Fernandez, but
he's a 3-star fighter.
Exactly, but who is John Fernandez?
I have no clue, so I'm going to click on.
If you watch the fight, like it was an 8. I think it was an 8-round KO. Oh my God, bro! He looks like a chihuahua.
Yeah, I know. Awful.
Bro, I'm not trying to anthropomorphize someone, but goddamn.
Yeah, awful, isn't he? Samuel Molina. So he's from Spain, España, in the edificio. He's 5'10", orthodox fighter. He's been stopped once out of the 3 times he's lost. Okay, 23 wins, 20 coming by way of knockout. Who is his? Well, I just want to see his resume. He's kept it in Spain. Yeah.
Again, his best win is.
Don't sleep on the Spaniards now.
No, I know.
They've been bringing it lately.
They come and fucking desecrate. But I mean, we're not really accustomed to all of their fighters. I'm not up on game of like pure Spanish fighters.
If you look up the Matias Romero fight, that was a good fight too. I did see the Rivera versus Matias Romero. That was a relatively good fight, but
I saw that. That wasn't that in the.
It was in October, I think.
Last year.
Last year. It was not this year. It was last year.
Yeah, I saw that as well. And he looked good in that fight. Is that Rivera you're talking? He looked good in that fight.
Yeah, I'm talking about Rivera. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's when he was like, "Oh, he looks like Ali and stuff,"
Yeah, this year, I think Rivera just fought Adorno, right? No, it was Adorno and someone else.
Hang on, let's go.
Mind you, I'm not the most active person on Rivera's.
Why is he a 4-star fighter? He's a 4-star fighter. He's not a hell of a fighter. I don't know, mate. You're not a hell of a fighter, are you? Okay,
realistically, the best thing on his resume is his loss to Martin, but
Adorno, that's the one that you was talking about there.
Yeah, I saw that fight. That was in March.
So he lost to a 3-star fighter. It's not a hell of a fighter. You're a 4-star fighter.
It was crazy because they showed the WBA rankings and Martin was ranked 10 and Rivera was ranked 2 in the WBA.
Bro, he looks like Will Smith.
Kind of, sort of.
Bro, he looks like Will Smith when Will Smith played Ollie in the movie.
Yeah.
He looks like his younger version of himself in Gemini Man.
Ali, they could have gave him a job in that movie, to be fair. Would have did better than there. Yeah, I'm sick of your resume. Let me stop. Fuck it. Nothing's happening there.
Exactly. But again, this is all the boots syndrome. It's like, you have this eye test, and you believe these fighters are ranked based off of how they look against no names.
I know this is the thing, and people, we need to stop getting, gassed up on people that haven't proven themselves. So that's why, like Kenny said, we will look forward to maybe 2023 where we can see that there, better fights happening. Major, what up? In the boot is in.
I mean, there's some tests in that division that he can deal with.
Say that.
King of King, you kind of cut out.
There's Kashawn Davis is in there. I think he's on PBC as well. So at some point in time, maybe they're going to weed these younger dudes out. But I think Kashawn Davis, even with his very little bit of experience, probably could beat Martin right now.
Keyshawn is on Top Rank, I think.
Oh shit! Oh. Well, here's the thing about it. I like low key. People get mad at me, but I really don't take any fighters that are 140 and below that aren't on fucking Top Rank serious.
That's a good way of living.
I was thinking the same thing. I said plug him in there.
If it's 140 and below,
Keyshawn,
you're not legit. I don't any fight you take. I don't. Isaac Cruz got pushed into a fight with some Rolly bullshit, and that's the only guy that's notable outside of that and fucking Tank. But if you're a notable fighter at 140 and below and you're not on Top Rank, you're not fighting nobody, you're not proven, you're just out there.
Hey, so fun fact, I'm happy you brought that up because I'm telling you, I have this conspiracy theory in my head that the winner of Rolly versus Isaac Cruz, that's going to be a fucking segue to a second Gervonta Davis fight. They're just going to milk these same fighters, man.
I can see it.
Like, I have this feeling.
Fucking dead, isn't it?
Yeah, because Gervonta Davis isn't going to fight nobody. That Ryan Garcia is all hyped to try to whirl up their fans so somebody watch his next card.
I'm surprised we got the Hector Garcia fight. Honest to God,
I know.
And he's taking that with a physical advantage that he knows he has, because even as good as Hector Gonzalez is,
he's coming up in weight,
fighting a dude bigger than that, with knockout power, who has legit knockout power at that fucking weight, even if it's just stunning power, if he was to fight more elite fighters, is a tall fucking task. So there's a whole plethora of natural 135 pounders he could have fought. So he gets a guy that's off a hot win, really off Colbert, who I was never really high on anyway. And so you bring him in to fucking sacrifice him because he's not fight. How's that getting you ready for a motherfucking Garcia fight who's like 5'9"? Like, I mean, it's just ridiculous.
It doesn't.
Tank isn't gonna fight. No, he's talking about retiring. The dude's 28 years old. He's gonna be the biggest hype of all time if he doesn't fucking get one. Like literally, if you don't fight one signature fight at I don't give a damn. Like, if you don't fight Devin, if you don't fight Regis or some one of these significant fighters, then you're just a hype job. There's nothing you can do. No matter how many knockouts you have, you're a hype job. You've never fought a top fucking 15 fighter. Bottom line.
King of King, honest to God, personally. So in the rankings right now, we know Tank Davis is ranked 3rd behind Lomachenko and Devin Haney right now. Have him fight the number 4. Have him fight Zepeda. That would be a hell of a fight. I know it's not going to happen, but everyone, like, I've seen this on multiple channels. Everyone said he's the Mexican killer. Put him against Zepeda. Put him into Zepeda, man. I would buy that fight.
What's that?
William
Zepeda, man. That's a good fight.
Sorry, my bad.
Oh, good.
Well, but see, here's the thing about William Zepeda: the jury's still out. You know,
we just saw Jose fight. Sorry.
Is he more like, we're trying to find out with Zepeda? Is he more Zerto or is he more legit? It's like, is he another guy they're building to try to make us think is great and he's never going to fight nobody?
Look, at the end of the day, you're right. It could be one or the other scenario, but at the end of the day, you got to fight. You got to get these fights going, man. Like, you can't find out who's the hype job unless they fight the other quote unquote hype jobs.
Sorry, is Jose and William Zepeda related? Or
no, they're not. No, they're not.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
Well, it's like, that's what Kenny was saying though. That's why boxing is dying, bro. Like these dudes, nobody would like. Okay, bringing up a story kind of segues into that. That dude Ramirez is a mark, man. This dude has now ducked Regis Prograis for the 2nd time. And it's like, this time he came out with excuse talking about because of the money. Well, when you had the lion's share and you had the title, you had the 65-35 split, and you still didn't want to fight Prograis. He knows he stops him.
Yeah,
like,
so do I. I've been saying that for the longest time now. Regis will knock him out.
Yeah.
So now they're bringing T.O. up next, who I bet you I don't know. T.O.'s crazy enough to go in there and get his ass. Like he's delusional. Yeah, he's gonna get stopped.
Good. I hope so. I hope so.
Hey, real talk on this panel. Who do you honestly see in 140 or 135 moving up to 140 that can actually beat Prograde? Because right now I don't see it, man.
I really don't. I don't.
Oh no, not at the minute.
Not at this moment. Maybe like 2-3 years from now.
Man.
Well, like no, it's like
right now. Like 4 years off from being.
Oh yeah,
and the size difference is enough, but he's not moving up.
For that weight for him to even by the time he gets there, to be honest, and I think Prograde will probably be on his way out. Prograde's older.
Yeah, I think highly of Devin, but I think he can't. Prograde is his styles. I think, like I say, everybody will bring up he has one loss against the undisputed champion in that division, a very close loss, and I think he just got caught off guard a little bit based on experience. I think if they run that back, I think he can beat him the second time.
So do I.
But because they don't have rematches, well, I mean, he got forced into this rematch with Catterall. I think he's going to get past it because the shit that went to him, you know, Catterall, the surprise factor is gone, and that's the same thing what I said about Progress with him and Taylor is he got surprised, so that surprise factor is gone. And I think if they were to mix it up again, because Taylor, where is he going? I mean, there's nowhere for you to go except for go up to 147, get fed to Bud. I mean, that's the only prospects you have.
I mean, he's got one belt.
Try and do.
He's got one belt. I mean, if he beats Catterall in the rematch, if Taylor beats Jack, I think he will. He could unify with Regis in a rematch. I'd like to see that. So.
You know what? Yeah, sorry. You know, like the first fight. You know, like it's interesting. You're talking about Progress and Josh Taylor. To this day, when I watched it the first time, and I watched it a couple of times, I had Progress winning that. You know, I was astonished by the decision to give it.
A lot of people did.
I had that as I call that. You know, like if there was ever a hometown decision, I thought that was a hometown decision because I thought Progress. It was. Don't know, it was subjective because you remember that time when Derek Chisora was second in the bill and he went on like a pork chop and started going, "You got to pay me more now because I'm now the I should be the headliner. I bring all the bums. I put all bums on seats."
Yeah.
But
we rewatched AJ the Prograde.
We did. I think we had. I had Josh. It was close. I had Josh winning. I think Josh Edge did. Yeah. I mean, but one of the judges' scorecards was Kenny's onto something because one of the judges' scorecards were too wide in favor of Taylor.
Split, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it was a majority decision. It was a majority decision.
8-4.
Was it an MD?
It was an MD. Yeah, it was an MD.
It was an MD. Yeah.
Honestly, I had that a tie. If I'm being honest with you, man, I had that like a 6-6. If I'm being honest with you,
tough fight to score. It was close, man.
I mean, if you scored it that Prograde one, I'm with it. I get it. I got it. If you scored it that Taylor one, I get it. I got it. And if you score it that it was a draw, get it. I got it. That fight.
That's why they need to run it back.
There's another thing you guys mentioned as well. That it's very interesting and it's actually sad and heartbreaking the things you mentioned because you talked about Catterall fighting Taylor and how Catterall's lost the surprise element and the sad thing is that was his one chance of being an undisputed and it got taken from him because boxing minds are gonna think, you know what, Taylor's never ever gonna make that mistake again. He's never gonna keep his hands low.
We can't go into this fight thinking that it's still not possible that Catterall. I mean,
it's not possible, but it's
but Catterall could still beat him.
He can still beat him, but the thing about it is that there was a lot of stuff that Taylor took for granted. You know, like I said, he didn't box enough. He went for the tear up, and he got caught by surprise. He got caught by speed of hand and distance. Everything was there. And then by the time, so when I look at that, Josh Taylor's made a lot of changes to him. His life. Is he changed trainers?
He has.
He has. He's got better bench. So now and plus another thing as well, he's going to respect Catterall. He's not going to take the fact that Catterall's got a bit of power because obviously he's hurt me, and it could be a situation where Josh Taylor, because he's a classy fighter, might step it up and. Who knows? That's why, boxing's a bitch when you get that decision. You know, that's got to be
Why
one
is
of the
why
worst.
is Josh Taylor waited so long for this rematch? It's almost like we're going on almost on a year. Why the hell?
I don't know, man.
See, that's that bullshit that is annoying about boxing, man. It's like, bro, like that. You guys should have ran that back 4 months later. Why the fuck does it take so long?
Josh Taylor was like, weren't having it, and he wanted to do other shit, and then he was getting married, and then
he ended up dropping all his belts.
He got stripped, and then it was a load of bullshit. He didn't want to fight Jack Catterall again, and it was the people like us that spoke up. Was like, bro.
I think everybody shaming him was what convinced them to do it again. I think everybody, you know, public backlash.
This is how crazy it is. Even though you guys know how I feel about box rate rankings, but they actually got Regis ranked right above Josh Taylor. That's how Josh Taylor's just
they don't rate Josh anymore. Josh's ratings have gone down though.
Yeah, because they know they've seen after Regis. Not regardless, we know how to pay the fights, but that still is a good fight. Like that was a championship fight.
Oh, that was a great win. That was a great win.
It was a great win. So it's like you're looking at even at Josh Taylor, because I'm gonna tell you right now, Josh Taylor's win, and I'm not trying to shit on his undisputed, it's legit. But Ramirez to me is a trash. He's not the only like everybody that he beat.
Was split decision.
Regis stops all those dudes. I'm sorry.
And they were all split decision wins and one MD. All of Josh Taylor's wins split decision. All of them.
I mean, but panel. By the way, FYI, y'all, like Ramirez against Postal. I think he may have got a gift in that fight when Ramirez fought Victor Postal.
Yeah.
Yep. That could
have. He got a gift against Zepeda. That fight was closer than that, man. But you know. Yep. He, to me, Jose Ramirez, like I said, all he's known for is getting dropped a bunch of times by Josh. Like he's not a good, like for him to duck this Regis fight again means to me he's garbage. I don't even, I'm not watching nothing.
He ain't shit. He's fighting Comey.
Fight Comey. What kind of bullshit is that?
Well, I just hope Comey drops him because Comey still don't count out Comey just because he got beat by Loman. Like Comey's in his.
No, it's not that. He's just his last run of his last 4 fights ain't been so good. He's in one of those streaks where he's losing a bunch.
He's on the tail end, isn't he? But I mean, still don't count him out at that. You know, when you try to do them types of moves, it backfires on you, and you might be on the canvas via Comey.
So I got a question, right? So at 140 right now, Regis Prograis got WBC, Albert Puello's got WBA, and Josh Taylor versus Catterall, whoever wins gets the WBO.
Yep.
So for IBF, has there been an announcement for Ponce versus Matias?
Not yet.
Not yet, because that's going to be another good fight.
It is. But
unfortunately,
PBC is going to have they're going to have lockdown over those 2 belts. So it's going to be hard for, I think, other champions to unify with those guys. So
listos pe los chingazos. Listos pe los chingazos.
Yeah, ain't ready.
Yeah,
that's
listos pe los
chingazos. PBC. What belt slithered over there from 140?
What'd you say?
I said, what belts from 140 slithered over to the PBC?
IBF, and I mean, we could at least possibly get a unification between Puello versus Matias versus Ponce's winner. So we could.
Puello's got the WBA. What does Matias have?
I'm just saying but the number 1 and 2 is Ponce and Matias. So like that would be
it's between those two. Yeah.
It's honestly going to be like a simulacrum of what happened at I think it was the one with Fulton that was Super Bantam. It's Bantam and MJ. Like it's going to have 2 most likely, possibly, because I'm hoping we get a rematch. I mean, like fight number 2 between Taylor and Catterall, winner versus Prograis. But it's going to be like a simulacrum of that category where it's just 2 unified champions and 1,000 excuses why that fight won't happen.
Well, and now we've got Chris Colbert saying that was a great win. Frank Martin, let's dance. Who wins out of that then? I'm just looking at
Frank.
Frank Martin stops Chris Colbert.
Yeah, he does.
Frank.
Easy work.
Frank. I mean, because we showed Chris. You know what? Because when Chris Colbert, when the tough gets when things when the tough gets tough,
it's going.
Exactly. That's what we saw. That's what we saw in the Hector Garcia fight, the championship. He did not want to beat her anymore after that. Hector Garcia was whooping his ass and pacing him up. He wanted to get out of there.
Man, we couldn't believe that. Do you remember my voice notes on that? Oh God, guys, if you would have heard my voice, I was like, "He's down. He's dropped him. He's dropped him."
Chad, I shit you not. Before it happened, before he got dropped, I said, Chris better stop fucking around before he gets dropped. And then he got put on his ass.
I'm gonna drop him. As I saw the fight, I was like, Chris Colbert's going to get dropped. And as I said it, he got dropped. I couldn't believe it.
Quit. That's why the man Chris Colbert
he's
should never
overrated.
had that nickname, Little B Hop. Bitch, they ain't nothing about you, no B Hop at all. Get the fuck out of here.
To him. That's just about it. Nothing of your style is any. Nothing of your style is that.
Colorful hair, weirdo.
They like giving these people these names too quick. We've got Little Lally, nothing like him, you know, and now we had Little B-Op. You're not Bernard Hopkins at all, so stop.
Never.
No.
Colbert, man. Colbert's another one of those fighters who, like, again, this is just synonymous with the state of boxing right now. You look good in one fight, you got this nickname now. Like you guys said, we got Lil B-Hop, which is disrespectful, whatever. We have Ali, disrespectful as shit to the previous. Like, these names, these comparisons, you guys don't do anyone justice by after one fight you look good and then the next, like for example, do you guys remember who was the kid who, oh my god, he was an up and comer? Fucking names. Why do you do this to me, brain?
What weight division?
Oh my god, he was there. He was in the same card as Cruz versus his last fight. It was Isaac Cruz versus what was the fucker's name again? Gamboa. It was in that same card.
Oh yeah, and then Gamboa got the brakes beat off of him. Yeah.
But underneath there was another fight. He was made this quote unquote killer because of a sparring session and how he looked in it. What was his name? Oh my goodness gracious! What
was he? A 135 pounder?
Oh my no! I think he was. Give me a second. Like, ignore me for a second while I do my.
Yeah, you'll have to pull up the card.
Oh my goodness!
Oh
my goodness!
I was thinking about that the other day when I was like, "What's the thing that Ivo pronounces all the O's?"
I think I know what you're talking about. Was it Rayo?
Yes, it was Rayo. Thank you so much. It's the same. It's Rayo. Rayo.
Okay, I remember him on.
It's another thing. I see fighters become killers because of how they looked in a sparring match 10 years ago. Like, I'm like, it's like all these factors. It just becomes so tedious.
Because bollocks. That's what it is. Yeah. Okay. Shouts out to hang on. Shouts out to my sister Lisa Bell's in the building. For dropping that quarter of a dub on your girl. Cash App. Thank you very much, Lisa. £5 and 33 pence. Shouts out to you. Thank you so much, sis. Massively appreciated.
Why is he calling himself Shannon Briggs? Sorry.
He calls himself. Oh yeah, that's Ben Adams. I don't know why he's called himself Shannon Briggs. Why is he called?
Let's go, champ.
Let's go, champ. I don't know.
Speaking like you said, you just brought up Isaac Cruz, man. Isaac Cruz, that's that bullshit, overhyping that shit because he lost to a guy named Luis Montano Alvarez. Guess who? Yeah, the dude that's like 18-8. So I mean,
early in his career, right? On points.
Yeah. So let's just be honest. If that was anybody else, it'd be like act like that dude was washed. They just act like that loss didn't even exist. Like, bro, you got Tank. I believe Tank's hand was broken, and now you're avoiding the smoke because you don't want no Shakir action at all. Shakir will use your ass as a tune-up.
He tried to impose A-side status against Ryan Garcia after he lost because of the manner upon which he lost. He thought losing would elevate his marquee value to a fucking Ryan Garcia. I'm not even high on Ryan Garcia, but I know more people. If you go down the street, you ask kids, they know who Ryan Garcia is as opposed to Isaac Cruz.
Exactly. It's kind of like the Luis Ortiz shit. His best win is a loss.
What's funny is like Ryan Garcia. I think he outboxes Cruz. He's long, man. He got enough skills. I think he sleeps. I don't know why Isaac Cruz thinks because you had a close defeat against a dude that was clearly one-handed. That you were brought in there on some bah humbug. You probably got stopped if he had been a little more. He might have hurt you a little more. But the thing about it is he has some physical advantages that Tank ain't used to, somebody being shorter than him and all that other shit. Whereas Ryan, that's who everybody he fights is shorter than him. So not really. That motherfucker's full of shit. Like, I just can't stand. Like, he already on some diva shit and you haven't done nothing but lose.
That's what I'm saying. What's gonna happen is you're gonna have the Rolly Romero fight with him because of how PBC does their bullshit. You're gonna have the Rolly Romero fight, and what's gonna segue into a second Tank Davis fight. Either Rolly Romero's going to get that rerun or it's going to be Isaac Cruz who gets the rerun.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, ever since Gary Russell Jr. lost, I don't watch anybody under 140 that's not at top rank. It's no point. Those fights are all gimmick fights. They're all fucking soft touches. And like I said, I want to give Frank Martin shots up, but I'm like, if you ever want to prove yourself, you got to go to top rank. And since
you need to leave PBC.
Devin Haney do this shit, I don't want to hear about nobody else can't do this shit when they're young and able to do it.
It's the same bullshit with Stephen Fulton, man, at the PBC. Bro, you are, like, here's the thing that gets me. He is a good fighter. Like, I think he's a good boxer, but you won't even go undisputed with MJ because of the bullshit. Like, come on now, dude.
God. It's all a mess. And sorry, while you lot are talking, I am
listening. Super Bantam.
Yeah. And who's gonna go? Who's moving up from Bantam to Super Bantam? Is that Inoue?
Inoue,
yep.
Inoue, yeah.
Inoue's on his way.
Yeah,
he's on his way up there.
But here's the thing's gonna happen. I swear to God, I can see it. I have this feeling. He's gonna, like, Fulton's gonna drop the belt. I have this feeling.
Instead of fighting Inoue.
100%. Like, I have this feeling because real talk, MJ had the WBA and IBF belt for, like, I think 2 years now. And Fulton's had the belt for a while too. He's had the WBC and the WBO. They could have had an like, the idea was go undisputed, and this way when Inoue moves up, you have undisputed versus undisputed.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen because, you know, PBC never done, like.
And yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know how it is.
Mm-hmm.
And now what's gonna happen is Inoue is gonna move up, and, like, again, I just have this feeling that Fulton's gonna drop the belt. And then
he's gonna take that Figueroa rematch at
exactly
the WBC order for the interim belt.
Exactly, and I could see Inoue versus MJ. That is a fight I could actually see.
MJ
happen.
will take the fight. He'll take the fight.
Exactly, because MJ is not like that person who wants a lot of money. He hasn't even, like, mained his own card yet.
Yeah, no, he's not.
MJ, who's MJ?
MJ Akhmadaliev.
Murodjan Akhmadaliev.
Yeah. Oh, dude, well, he's like 11-0.
Yeah, the other unified champion at 122.
Yeah, him and Fulton are both unified at 122. It's just, you know, bullshit.
Yeah, Inoue needs that fight. I mean, I'm sorry, like, we were just talking about dudes getting juiced up off.
You don't rate Inoue, do you, babe? So
no, because the thing about it is, like, it's the same. Like, I hold everybody to the same standard. Like, you're not going to just tell me how exciting somebody is, and then I look at who you fought, and I'm like, okay, who them dudes? Like, you beat. Don't give me no Nino down there. That's like somebody, like, I seen somebody try to tell me, oh, he had a win over Rigondeaux. I'm like, Rigondeaux's like 50 years old. Like, no Nino Donaire was coming down on weight. You beat him the second time like you should have beat him the first time. The only reason you get props for that win is because no Nino Donaire summoned one of his last fights out of his system in the first time you fought him. So that, like, let's be honest.
Donaire wants to fight him a third time.
Like, I don't know why he gets stopped again. Donaire is 40-some years old in a division where people fizzle out at 33. So
I don't see that fight happening. And from what I saw and what was spoken from the Donaires, which, you know, good people, whatever. But
Julius and that, we'll get him on over here.
Exactly. So I hear they want to look down a weight class. So which.
They want to fight. They want to fight at 115. 115.
Yeah, they want to go down to 115 for, like, the. I guess
that's a bad move. Not at that age. That's a really bad move.
Again, you know, whatever they want to do, just like. But here's my logic though. Here's my counterpoint. But here's what I'm thinking: if you move down, don't think coming off a loss you're gonna skip the line, because there's a lot of shit going down at 115 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Estrada there's Franco, there's Martinez, there's Ioka, who I think is one of the most slept on boxers. He's a pound for pound fighter, which no one talks about.
You still got Choc there. No, Choc's lower.
Chuck Latito just lost to Estrada.
Yeah, but ain't Choc naturally fights at what do they fight? Superfly, or they ban? Yeah, Superfly
115.
Yeah, it's junior bantamweight.
Okay, junior bantam. Yeah. Fuck. So he wants to go down there. That's
allegedly. That's what I heard from the Donaires.
Years old because it's stacked, and we're all still looking at I just said his name. It's Choc.
Estrada. Oh,
personally, what I wish you do.
35. Why are you? Donaire, why are you coming down in weight at the age of 40, 41? Nah, it's time that you.
He's somebody talk to him about hanging it up.
He'll speak his own self.
Personally, what I wish you do is I'd like, because they said the WBC, they released a statement saying how when the Inoue vacates, the people who will be in line to fight for the vacant belt will be Donaire, one of the Maloney twins. Take that fight.
He beat them.
Take that fight.
Man, I've seen them fight a couple times.
I've never been high on the Maloneys, really. I mean, like, he'll beat the Maloneys. Like, beat that, win the belt for then retire, then get out. do that.
One got a stoppage and one went the distance last fight or something. I know. They fought on the same day, same card.
I mean, the Maloney. So from what I remember, again, I could be off, but I think Jason Maloney and Edwards are going to fight for the WBO.
What is it? One's called Kevin. Is Kevin Maloney?
Andrew and Jason.
Yeah, Andrew and Jason.
Yeah.
I mean, well, one of them is the puncher, and one of them is not like the boxer. So
boxer, yeah.
You know, and one's a harder hitter.
Stopped one of them already. Jason, didn't he stop him already?
Yeah, he knocked out. Yeah. Jason, he knocked out. Yeah,
he put Jason on his ass.
I think that's the one that could punch. Yeah.
Yeah, he got punched, knocked smooth the fuck out.
Funny enough, I don't think he's
like, come on.
Did he still get up and win though? That fight.
Who? Jason?
Yeah.
No. He knocked him out. He sparked him. He was done.
Yeah, he was singing. He was singing "Kumbaya," dude. He was
out. He was gone. He was gone.
So I'm looking at the rankings right now. Like, dude, one of the Maloney's isn't even ranked. It's Jason who's ranked at for the WBC and WBO.
Because one's better than the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah, got to give it. One's slightly better. Well,
Antonia Russell is still ranked top 10 for the IBF. So.
Wait,
Gary Antonia Russell is ranked for top 10 for the IBF at 118 in bantamweight.
Oh, that's the one that Emmanuel Rodriguez just slapped around.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, he's still ranked top 10.
How though?
Yeah, you'd have to go to the IBF and ask them.
The PBC, I saw that fight. They did everything they could to try to rob them.
They buy their things so.
No, of course. I mean, but Chan, I saw that. I don't know. You remember that fight? They did everything they could to try to fuck Manny Rodriguez in that fight. Mm-hmm. They did everything. He dropped Gary several times. They gave him a long count, they did everything they could to make sure he didn't win.
Yeah, that's just fucked up. That's corruption in boxing is really in the build, isn't it? Then I was just looking in this news report. So shouts out to Canelo. He's got a statue erected in Guanacastean. I think you pronounce it.
What was one of the quotes? Was it "Get the fuck out of here, man"?
Horrible fighter.
Yeah, and he got there. Actually, yeah, we got to play him, innit? Don't we? Get the
fuck out of here, man. It's my night.
It's my night. My statue is my night.
Hey, get the fuck out of here because I'm gonna fuck you out right now, motherfucker.
Come, big pitch.
Horrible fighter. Yeah,
I want to say shouts out to Canelo. He's the last. To be honest, he's the last of the old model. You guys know how I feel about Canelo and some of the bullshit he pulls, but whatever. He's the last of what, like, the reason you guys see like so many people want to jump on board with somebody, because if you think about Canelo's the last like North American that really is like a superstar in boxing. Everybody else is just. They're high profile, but they don't have a universal connection to a fan base. It's just not there. And they keep trying to manufacture one without them actually doing anything. And it's stupid. It's just not going to work. So
Canelo's not even American.
I have things I said North American continent.
Yes. Oh, you're right. Okay.
So yeah, continent wise, that's how dismissed. So they're trying to find somebody. But look, man, we don't believe you, bro, because you guys don't fight nobody. We don't believe you. You can't just tell me somebody's good because you win one fight and then everybody wants to. Hey, regardless of what you say,
we don't believe you. You need more people.
Exactly. Regardless of what you say about Canelo, he put work in early in his career, and yes, he had close fights, but he actually had those fights.
Statue. He deserves a statue.
Yeah, so it's just like ever since then they've been trying to figure it. They've been trying to find a more Mayweather plug. Yeah. Now they're trying to find a Canelo plug. But to be honest, the new crop of Mexican fighters and that to shit on all of them, but they just don't got the nuts. Like these dudes just don't want to fight nobody. It's just like they don't want to pick and choose. They want to fight hometown matchups, Jaime Munguia ass niggas, and it's just like. Shouts out to him. He's like say he may be a relic, a living relic of a guy, people that actually want to fight everybody. Bivol's that way, but like I said, he's not
American.
He's not from here, so that's not going to have the connection. So this is it just shows that when Canelo retires, just really think about the vacuum that's going to be created. It's just not going to be filled by anybody.
There really won't be a face of boxing, like real talk. there really won't be a face of boxing after Canelo leaves.
Well,
who could take his place? Who could really take his place?
Hey, we got
AJ and Canelo are roughly the same age, so honestly, they're going to retire roughly around the same point.
I think Canelo would be out before AJ.
Yeah,
possibly.
He's more mileage on the clock. More mileage.
60 fights, mate.
More mileage on the clock.
A lot of mileage. He'll be out before AJ. AJ plans to be on.
So slightly off top. Well, slightly off, slightly on topic. So has Jermall Charlo gotten a mandatory yet for WBC belt, or is it still up in the air?
Up in the air. No, that's his brother. That's his brother. My
no, not Jermall. Not Jermall. Sorry, my accent. Jermall. Big one.
Big Maul. Big pig.
I remember the collective fight is back in play.
It is when your own brother had to admit, like Jermell during that press conference had to admit that Jamal, man, he was like, yeah, some guys take on challenges and they keep being hungry. And he's like, oh, well, I don't mean my brother's not hungry, but it's just is what it is. Jamal is just, look, y'all would keep fought like these belts are for purchase. So he keeps paying his bill, so they're not going to take his belt from him.
Yeah,
that's all it is to it. So any mandatories, when you see that shit happen, that just means those dudes probably like somebody brought the bag.
Yeah. Shouts out, Jimmy. What up, though?
Good evening.
What up, though? What's up, Trouble? We just speaking about you.
Good evening.
How you
doing?
What's going on?
How you doing, LadyChann?
I'm good.
Yeah,
man.
I just jumped on. I actually want to touch on what you guys were saying about the face of boxing thing. I think once Canelo and AJ definitely retire, I think in America the PBC try to make Deontay Wilder and Errol Spence into the next stars, but I think they kind of failed. I don't know, especially in the UK. I feel like once AJ retires, that we've never seen anyone do those kind of numbers as far as the ticket sales, the pay-per-views, the big sponsorships.
He bought the heavyweight division in this era. That's a fact. Whoever
100%.
That they can.
Nothing for dispute.
For AJ, nobody was getting that money in this era of heavyweight. Nobody.
Yeah, I mean, he revolutionized UK boxing, took that to a different level, took boxing to the Middle East. No one ever put on big events in Saudi or in the Middle East. Same with Canelo.
Dubois.
But
y'all got Dubois. He's
We'll trade him.
No, y'all can keep him over there, man. Y'all got Dubois.
No, man, you're on our side, Ivo. You're on our side, man. You're honorary Brit. You're still European. Stop being conflicted. American fully.
I wish Joyce was like 10 years younger. I wish Joe Joyce was like 10 years younger.
He's 30-something, isn't he?
If he was 10 years younger. But I mean, Joe Joyce is going to be a force to be reckoned with now. Now we have to put some respect on his name. I don't see a lot of people just walking through though Joe Joyce. I don't think he's unbeatable, by the way, me saying that. I know what type of style will beat him.
Well, the thing is, I think he relies on his chin way too much. That's going to come back to backfire on him. He needs to learn some defense.
As an honorary Brit, we got Conor Benn.
We got Conor Benn, exactly. Oh no, God. Yeah, well, you've explained. No, we ain't really got Conor Benn. I'm waiting to see. Like, shouts out.
I'm still waiting.
I've been asleep, Ivo. But after this, guys, please check out the episode that I'm going to put up because Ivo, shouts out to Ivo, our endocrinologist in the Buddhism, in the Uzdana, gave us a great breakdown. So I'm giving you part 1 and I'm going to feed you some parts. So, because Ivo, can you just explain what you do?
So I'm an endocrinologist. I pretty much study hormones. Hormonal effects on human body. So I go into a subsect. I have my specific derivative of endocrinology focuses more on artificial synthetic steroids and hormones. The good shit, the stuff that fighters do. So,
sorry, that's me on that.
Yeah. So just to keep it simple, if you ever want to know, how to not get caught by VADA, I'm the man. I'm the man you come to.
Conte.
Yeah, I'm the guy who Conor Benn should have came to.
Yeah, fuck no.
I would have at the bare minimum told him don't use the excuse of eating out your girlfriend.
Oh, well, that would have been a better acceptable fucking excuse, mate.
I don't even know what a good excuse would have been.
Me either.
Honestly, have you heard of the Streisand effect? Just say nothing. Just say nothing.
Yeah, just don't. Yeah.
No, I think you made a good point. Like, I think Conor Benn right now, he should just come out and admit that what he did and, apologize. And I think that's it. I mean, like, British, I think people generally, we're quite forgiving, we don't really, we move on quite quickly. So if you just look at Tyson Fury, I mean, he failed a drug test. People, I mean, just come out and just say, look, man, I apologize. I had a lot of stress on me, etc. And I'm gonna learn from this.
But Tyson Fury never came out with he came out with hell excuses. He had the boar meat, remember?
So, I mean, but we moved on, everyone moved on, and now he's supposedly the greatest heavyweight of our era. So,
but that's exactly what Conor Benn should do. Just deny everything, let it go on the down low for a year or two, and get some press. That's pretty much what all of them do. Almost every single fighter has had some sort of excuse.
No, key difference. Tyson Fury, when he got caught for nandrolone, he wasn't really a big deal in the UK. I mean, LadyChann knows this guy couldn't sell out arenas, let alone stadiums. No one really liked Tyson Fury or cared about him too much. So if he failed now,
still don't.
It'd be a big deal. Conor Benn's like more of a bigger star. He had this huge fight with Chris Eubank. He's all over, BBC Sport, The Zone, Good Morning Britain. I mean, he was everywhere. Like, they had massive hype, that fight.
This is true. This is true. Do you reckon if Tyson Fury popped dirty now because of his popularity, it would have been Kenny Ken? Do you think it would have been Kenny Ken? Let me ask Kenny Ken before we go, because Ken, you as a Tyson Fury, how did you feel at the time when Tyson Fury popped dirty?
To be honest, I wasn't surprised.
Was you a fan?
I was a fan,
then?
yeah, definitely. Then I knew a ban was coming his way. Even though I'm a massive Tyson Fury fan, I'm not gonna just defend him.
But it wasn't a big deal, was it? Though that's what I'm trying to say.
It wasn't a massive deal because, as far as I was concerned, Tyson Fury, the reason why he was out of boxing wasn't through choice or through depression. He was suspended. I've always stated that. I refute anything anyone says in the defence and say, well, he was depressed about boxing. Yeah, he was depressed because something he loved was taken away from him because he failed a drug test. It happened. Yeah. But for them to marry it up and talk about, the fact that he was depressed and, he didn't want to be the man of sport, I find that a bit far-fetched. But, good thing with Tyson. But at the time, I ain't going to lie, when Tyson Fury wasn't a massive name when he won that title. Even after he beat Klitschko, he wasn't a massive name. But don't get me wrong, they've got to give him the British sports personality. But because of his views, he wasn't going to get one. And at that time, when he beat Klitschko about 7 years ago, he's very unpopular with the British public. There was a lot of people in Britain, me excluded, who would have loved Klitschko to give him a hiding. And when he came back, a lot of people, he didn't get the fanfare. He came back to Manchester, and it was like me coming back from holiday from Dubai with me and my wife. Only our relatives meeting us. That's how much popularity Tyson Fury had at the time. It was very little popularity.
Well, keep in mind that Klitschko fight was arguably aesthetically one of the most god-awful fights that ever happened in the sport of boxing. And that didn't help his quote-unquote marquee value. The thing is... Go ahead, dude.
No, I was just going to say, I think what happened to Fury is he got hit with the perfect storm. So when AJ lost to Andy Ruiz, Tyson Fury destroyed Deontay Wilder, right? And I think there was this massive AJ versus Wilder beef between Americans and Brits, right? Like the rivalry. I think Tyson Fury was at a really good timing, right? So when he destroyed Wilder, pulled off a big win, got the belt. AJ also lost to Andy Ruiz. So I think that was a good timing for Fury. And also the AJ rivalry, that was massive in the UK, and the Wilder, and, because when he just beat Klitschko, no one cared about him, But,
yeah, we didn't give a shit then, did we, Jim? I didn't give a shit.
I think also his hiatus from the sport, like when he was. See, this is the thing about with Tyson Fury that why it may not have been big. He had so much other shit going on. Like he was running around looking like Batman. He was looking crazy. Was you ducking Klitschko? So he had so much other shit that you were like, you had to work your way down to you did fail a steroids test too. Yeah. And it's like he disappeared around that time. And like Jimmy said, he came back at the most opportune time because, like I said, AJ getting put in that situation basically left a void where he could kind of come in. But even then, it's still not like he's the most popular. It's like people rock with him because he's undefeated. But it's like if they had a choice, they would rather have AJ be undefeated.
Yeah, right. Way better.
Well, here's.
Go ahead, Jim. Ken. Go ahead, Ken.
I think with Tyson Fury, what people seem to forget, his popularity wasn't because of Anthony Joshua and AJ. Anthony Joshua getting taken by Ruiz. I think Tyson Fury got popular in the United Kingdom mainly because a lot of people felt he got bumped in with the Wilder fight, that he actually won that fight. So what's happening right now is that
who won that fight?
The first fight of Wilder. It was a call for a draw. But I think his popularity in the UK went up. I said, hang on here, this is unfair. Tyson, how he sold himself. First of all, he sold himself for the fact that he wanted to be an advocate for mental health. That sells in England. Then it was the fact that he's 3 years out of the ring, he's out of shape, but he still managed to beat Deontay Wilder. It's unfair, blah blah, and that's where his popularity went up. And Frank Warren, Arum just went with that. So that's where he's got a lot of popularity. Another thing as well, let's face it, in terms of like England as well, a lot of casuals who love boxing will go with Tyson Fury as much as they did with AJ. So because the thing in Tyson Fury is controversial, everyone thinks they know, they think they're his mate. So that's how he sells. So I think it was before these guys lost their prospective fights, or Wilder lost to Fury, that the popularity was massive. But obviously when he beat Wilder, twice after that, popularity is massive. But there's a lot of reasons why Tyson Fury's major popular in this in UK is because AJ's lost a couple of fights. That's what it is. They transferred there. All of a sudden, AJ's can't box. He was never a great boxer because that's how casual think. But if Fury loses to Usyk, they're going to say the same thing. Oh, Fury was just size, and all the fighters that fought Fury beat weren't that great anyway. Because that's how casual boxing fans think. They, as far as they're concerned, everything's black and white. If everything's a fact to them because they don't know about boxing, they think the debate ends when a fighter loses a fight. The debate carries on in all sorts of sports, in terms of eras as well. Some people think Fury's the best of all time. Some people think Ali's best of all time. That debate is going to keep on going.
Oh my God! You never think Ali's the best though? I mean, Fury's the best over Ali. They're fucking.
No, of course he ain't. But there's going to be
he's the best in their era. Like for me, Floyd Mayweather's my all-time favorite fighter.
It's an ongoing debate, though, isn't it? The fun thing is that it's debate that that is fun to have. Because when we get to the World Cup thing, there's a lot of pork chops going on, and like, oh yeah, this player's the best of all time, and there's no debate. Sorry, excuse my French. Don't want to swear because I don't want you to lose.
No, it's fine. You can swear. We're allowed to swear. It's fine.
Yeah, but it's first fuck. Excuse my French, but go fuck yourselves, mate. You don't tell me that it's the end of the debate. It's on, as far as I'm concerned, debates are ongoing when it comes to sporting eras and boxers of generations and footballers of generations. I mean, just because you've made your decision, go ahead, leave the floor. The debate's still on.
Yeah.
I mean, Kenny, could I also add on to that? Like, the issue with Tyson Fury, personally for me, is just like you said, it's that casual fandom, and that casual fandom says a lot of stupid shit. But then they double. This applies to Canelo fans too. Like, I like Canelo, but I'm not. But he's got his like fanboys, and that casual like most. Here's the thing I tell most casual fans: you can't tell me 10 people Tyson Fury fought outside of Wilder and Klitschko. Most of them cannot tell me 10 fighters that he fought. Yeah. They know 2 fights. They might know Dillian White. But people like to sell this narrative that Fury sold that fight. No, it was equal because Dillian White had name value too. So, like, honest to God, like, I think his like hardcore fandom is as hardcore as the Wilder fandom was, in the sense like they talk mad shit until it bites them in the ass, and then they switch up on you.
Yeah.
It's that casual demographic, man. They're the most annoying people in boxing.
But Con Shonery said, Fury isn't even better than Lennox Lewis, and he's just not. He's just not.
I agree.
I agree with that.
So how can you just really be the best of an era? Like best of an era.
You're not even undisputed.
You're not even
You never were.
Just because you had 3 belts 10 years ago and you got the final belt 10 years later doesn't mean you're undisputed.
Yeah, you didn't hold them all at the same motherfucking time. You had 3 at the most. Yeah, he did.
That's why the debate is fun, and that's why it has to be ongoing. You know, because there's a lot of people in boxing itself, and I think some people should know better. Our pundits in this country, Johnny Nelson, the Carl Frochs of the world, all of these guys, they think because they've boxed that the debate, that's it, undisputed. Tyson Fury is the best heavyweight, of his generation. No one's going to beat Tyson Fury. There's no way Tyson Usyk's going to lose because Tyson is big. Johnny Nelson. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I'm going to start turning the sound down off for a lot of pundits, because not too funny, right? Just because you've boxed doesn't mean you're always right. You can't shut down the debate because it suits your agenda. You know what I mean? The fact is, Tyson, for me, even if Tyson Fury loses to Usyk, I still think Tyson Fury is a great fighter. That's not going to change my mind because of the fact that that's the debate. But I'll be happy to debate with you guys because I know you guys have seen better fighters over the last few years, and you generally believe that it's better fighters, in the heavyweight division who can still beat Tyson Fury. And you guys, you're within your rights to say, well, you know what? I look at his record and look at his beating. No, I'm not impressed. And that's why the debate has to be ongoing. But when people shut it down, that's what gets my nerves. And I'm a Tyson Fury fan. I don't shut the debate down. It's open to me.
Yeah, we don't. Like, I've got nothing against anybody that likes any fighter. We're all within our prerogative, like a fighter because of their style of fight. Because of you, do you know what I mean? You're to like who you like, but I just don't like delusions.
Yes.
Me either.
I mean, like, it's fine to like a fighter, but when you start saying things that go way, way left, that doesn't make sense. That's why I'm like, I cringe, and it's like, are you for real?
So,
but I'm gonna tell y'all something. Y'all over there in the UK, right? Now
Hey, Lisa.
Hey, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, sis.
I didn't even get a chance to say how I was because I came in. Listen, you guys, you and Kenny in the UK. Now we're here in the US, and I'm telling you, and King of Kings and AJ and Ivo could tell you, when you watch any top rank card, they always mention Tyson Fury, and they big him up, and they act like he's the best thing, right? And they act like he's the best thing since sliced bread. So here's the thing. Like, all you got to do is prove it in the ring. But for anybody to say that he would be in the same caliber as Ali, this is where they're wrong. Ali fought too many Hall of Famers and ATGs. The argument is not even, it makes no sense. Even if he retires undefeated, that's a great feat. I mean, with the one draw.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, hold up. He doesn't have the level of competition that Ali have. I could go from Ali to the 60s, and from the time he retired, he fought nothing but greats. There's no comparison.
So Lisa, let's also clarify some things. All of the great heavyweights, at bare minimum, were undisputed, who had multiple title defenses. That's why this era doesn't even compare to that one. Ezra Charles had 8 defenses. Lennox Lewis, he had 9. Mike Tyson, he had 9. Joe Frazier, he had 9 title defenses. Ali had 10. He was a champion for 5 years. The first step back then was to just get undisputed. That was the bare minimum effort. And then from there, you have to maintain that undisputed record. Vladimir Klitschko had 18 title defenses, and yet people forget that.
I thought it was 23.
It was 20-something. Yeah. No, it was 20-something.
Vladimir had 18 defenses. He was a champion for 9 years, and
23 defenses.
No,
it was 20-something.
23.
It's 20 something. Yeah.
23.
He came close to Joe Lewis's record. He came close.
Check.
Yeah, Larry Holmes never was undisputed, but he's still a great.
Was it? Wasn't it 18?
I'm sure it's 23.
Oh goodness, because I know Joe Louis had 26, but
I think
he had the most.
23. I wonder. I feel that it was 23.
I think it was 18, but I could be wrong. I'm not gonna die on that hill.
Edward, are you checking?
Yeah, I'm looking up now.
Yeah, thank you.
I think it's 21, 22, 23, something like that. She's right.
I think it's 23.
I think it was 18.
I think it's 22. I think it's 18. I think it's 22.
24. It was 24.
24. Damn, I was off.
Well, shouts out to me, Grace. I knew it was up there, Ivo. It was in
my bad then.
Are you thinking consecutive defenses, or are you thinking about total defenses?
I was thinking consecutive defenses.
You know what's happened? You've gone to fucking American. That's what's happened.
No, I was thinking of his consecutive defenses. I think he had 18 consecutive title defenses.
Yeah, 18 consecutive, but then
yeah, but all together was 24.
All right,
so
then my bad.
He was right in that way, in that regard, Ivo. Yeah, that record still stands today. It's true, Conchonery. That record still stands today, mate. It does.
But the point I said, all that I said, was just to say, like, you cannot ever call someone an all-time great when the fighters of the past just blow out. Like, that's why it's hard to, even like my favorite fighter of this generation is Usyk, because, Ukrainian boy. So I can't rate him as one of the all-time greatest heavyweights because it's just unrealistic. Like, that division is so stacked historically with top-tier fighters.
Yeah. Now, the cruiserweight, you gotta... he's
one of the all-time great cruiserweights. Honestly, he might even be one of the all-time great pound-for-pound fighters just because he epitomized the little guy moving up to heavyweight. He's literally doing it. He's up there.
But he doesn't have enough title defenses, enough fights, though. Exactly. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
He gotta extend, because I'll give him a pass on if Fury continues to duck him, then like I've said before, he has 3 belts. He's the champ of that division, bottom line. So the thing about it is you got the biggest thing about making you all-time great is longevity. Whenever you hear, even up to Floyd, this many title defenses, this many title fights, you can't be put in there with 3 or 4 title fights, and you got to get into 20. When they talk about, Bernard Hopkins, 20 straight defenses, that's when you start talking about. So the guys, because one, they don't put in extra effort. I don't give a damn. Every other fight can be a bum or whatever. At least stay busy, do something, defend the title, do something. But yeah, Usyk, like I said, if you guys think about it, just because of the fact, like all their resumes at the end, if they don't get this going, are incomplete. You can't even stack them against each other. You can't say, oh, well, he went undefeated. Yeah, he went undefeated because he only fought 25 times. If you fight fucking 40 times against top level competition, you're going to eventually lose. So so you can't even put them in the thing because they're just not inferior. Like I said, some of them just, if he doesn't take that Usyk fight, to me, his career is a bust. I'm sorry. It's one of the biggest hype jobs since fucking who's that damn dude they always bring up? Fucking the Italian guy.
Rocky Marciano.
Rocky Marciano. You the worst. You won the biggest hype job since him, because to me, and even though you're fucking, I guess your fights were more legit than that. I guess, I don't know, but you went undefeated and you never fought nobody. You didn't it's like your last few fights. Okay, you beat one fighter. You have evidently you have Deontay Wilder's number. You have him. Okay, so I need to see at least 10 on that list. That one guy.
Cool.
Counterpoint. But he beat Joe Lewis's ass.
No, he beat Joe Lewis. He beat Ezra Charles. He beat Jersey Joe Walcott. Those are all, but they were older.
Yeah, they were all.
I know.
Yeah.
It's a joke. It's a joke from the.
And let's think about it. If Vladimir had been maybe 10 years younger, does he have here? No, I'll bring Vitaly, because, like I said, I always thought Vitaly was the better fighter. Just because he's a little more durable, the chin was stronger. If I bring a Vitaly in his prime, and if he holds up physically, what does Tyson Fury do with that dude? Let's keep it real. Like, that's like a real tough ass fight. He might lose. He could lose. So honestly, if you can't even beat you beat Vladimir, that's fine, but that was after decades of him fighting. So I mean, I discount that win a little bit because I'm like,
and he was pushing 40 himself.
Yeah,
he
was at the end of his
40
prime.
when you beat him, and then you did it in a snooze fest. Like it was like, bro, like you just skipped around and flicked the jab, and I don't even know if they connected. You probably threw a total of 80 punches in the whole fight.
Look, I'm not massive on Tyson Fury. That as everybody knows, that fight was a snooze fest. But I don't want to keep going down the road at all times when a fighter beats an older fighter, because that fighter cannot help that fighter was born miles before him. Because if we're going to go down that road, we've got to take away a lot of people's wins.
Yeah, that's true.
But here's a counterpoint to that. Yeah,
I mean, because Vladimir wasn't done. He wasn't. There's fighters that are 40 and they're done and they're finished. Derek Chisora's 38. He's done. He's finished. Vladimir Klitschko wasn't done and wasn't finished. And the reason why Tyson Fury didn't want the rematch, because he realized that, he wasn't done, he weren't finished, and he knew that Vladimir Klitschko was going to use a different tactic to be able to beat him, because Vladimir Klitschko was used to always being the taller fighter, and he was the one that could lean on people. But the fact that Fury could lean on him, it was just a tactic. And then he got in his head, listen, when Vladimir fought AJ 17 months later, was that look like a done fighter? No way.
Not even close.
I don't mean he was washed. I'm just saying, like, he was nowhere near washed. He was still at the pinnacle of his career. And like you said, Tyson Fury had his Catterall moment, but he was able to capitalize on it.
Yeah.
If you run that shit back, Vladimir looked completely lost. But that's what I was saying. I'm like, okay, you beat Vladimir, but bro, like, I'm sorry, like you beat a Vladimir that's been in fights.
Very unimpressive.
Yeah, in a very unimpressive kind of like run for the fences way. And I'm like, you didn't even want to run it back. And that's why I'm saying, like, if you ended that fucking sector of boxing in that manner, I'm just telling you, like, even in the sector, if I go back in Vladimir's fucking fights, bro, I can pick dudes that it's not a comparison. Like, this, do more work. And I'm not trying to shit on these dudes. They still have time. But your ass should have fought AJ instead of fucking playing with him and being a bitch and acting like you're gonna fight him. You still got issues in your home country. That's the first thing. Sew up your home country first.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care what AJ may have lost where, but he ain't lost to you. So until you sew that up, you can't say you're the greatest of nothing. You
can't brag on someone else's win. I hate when I see fighters do that. Like, AJ's a bum because he lost to that one. But like what you said, he ain't lost to you though. He lost to pound.
He's coming out.
You have shown no sign of wanting to fight.
Pound for pound number 2.
Yeah, the dude he lost to, you have shown no signs of wanting to fight. So neither one of them. So there's a problem. You can't take no shine off somebody else doing the work that you should have did. That's crazy.
Because like Fury's coming out saying like, "Oh, I want to fight Usyk to beat the man that made AJ cry like a little girl." Well, guess what? Even if you do beat him, you still didn't beat AJ, genius.
Yeah,
but you know,
if I was AJ, I'd be wanting to tear his head off.
Me too.
But you know that's Fury, man. Fury is a fucking Twitter warrior, man. He just says shit just to say shit. That's all he does. Like,
he better beat Usyk if they fight. That's all I gotta say. Because if he doesn't, bruh,
he shat on AJ. He shat on Usyk so many times. I remember after the Klitschko fight, he shat on Klitschko, calling his resume dog shit too. And I'm like, well, Povetkin, Pulev, Chagev, Peter, like those are
he got a Wilder too. He took shots at his resume. Talking about the best one was a 50-year-old on blood pressure.
and then after you beat that man who beat the 50-year-old, you then say he's the number 2 heavyweight because you beat him.
Bruh. It makes no sense at all. None. Because like, okay, so like if you beat a guy whose best win is a 50-year-old, what does that make you if you beat him then?
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. So either across the board you keep it like, those wins are impressive.
Yeah, talking of Usyk, Usyk's now done a Tyson Fury, and he's set Tyson Fury a deadline for the first week of March. So, he's not waiting around, because at the end of the day, as you guys, as much as I'm Tyson Fury now, I think Usyk, as much as Tyson Fury thinks he's got the bargaining power, Usyk's the one with more belts. Just saying, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
that's
the end of it.
And a lot of people, I think what it is a lot of people in the UK are saying, and even people like boxing podcasters, oh, Tyson Fury's too big and he's gonna sit on him. But I don't think big means anything. Usyk's got a
All
lot
the
of
time.
Usyk's got a lot of attributes that I can see that I think, you know what, even if Tyson Fury comes for him and tries to take him out, Usyk's got the footwork, you know, he's got the defense to negate that. Now, I'm not saying because he did it to AJ. The fact is that AJ is more known for his physical attributes than Tyson Fury is. Tyson Fury's only become a physical fighter since he's got with Sugar Hill. So again, there's certain things where Tyson Fury could be the one who tries to, you know, sit on his punches, but Usyk's a better boxer than AJ. Usyk's a better boxer than you know, Wilder, and that's not saying, and he's better than Chisora. So it's a different
a better boxer than Fury.
Well, hopefully we'll be able to find that out. But I think Tyson Fury,
similarities. He's a good boxer. I always say Tyson Fury's a good boxer.
Kenny, can I ask you a question?
Better.
Yeah. Of course, yeah.
Kenny, let me ask you a question.
You need to see it though, Ken, like you said.
Historically, you've said you're a Fury fan. You've said it before that you're a fan of Fury. Historically, was he known to be a heavy hitter?
No.
Never.
He's only
60% KO ratio, 50s, top 50s. Now he's moved up to 70.
A lot of Tyson Fury's fights, a lot of them were like
they went the distance, didn't they?
A lot of ways,
decisions and distance.
But that's the thing. Tyson Fury's fighting style before, obviously, before he got with Sugar Hill, was mainly a sort of person who frustrated you, where you couldn't catch him, where he sat on top of you, but he jabbed you, and then he sat on you, and then he scored himself a fight. So he did use his power. That was only after he got put down. Obviously, the Steve Cohen fight, he had no choice but to you know, engage with him, because, you know, Cullen, you know, went over the top, bent his knees, and then came up with the overhand right, and then obviously said, "Well, I'm in a fight here." So Tyson Fury had to, you know, plant his feet. But most of the times, Tyson Fury didn't really plant his feet. It's only recently he's planted his feet in the added lower arsenal, because obviously, with the big hitters out in the heavyweight division, this kind of, you know, outboxing was never going to work. So he's using his brain, he's using his physical attributes now to, you know, I think the Wilder fight's giving him a lot of confidence in order for him to sit on his punches, because again, his claim to fame is that the biggest hitter in the division at the moment couldn't knock me out, and he knocks everyone else out. It's giving him a lot of confidence. But against Usyk, I don't think that him coming forward and trying to sit on his punches is going to work, because there's going to be a target he may not find. And Usyk's one of those fighters who, because of his footwork, he's not going to just sit there and you know, do that. He's going to engage with Tyson Fury like he did with AJ. A lot of people seem to forget that Usyk went to the center of the ring, said, "Yeah, come on, mate, I'm having this." Boom, boom, and used his skills. And he did throw his hands. So Usyk would do the same thing against Fury. He'd be a fool not to do it. He's got nothing to lose, because at the end of the day, if he does what people want him to do, you know, do this and try and evade punches, that's going to be a Fury unanimous decision. He will not win against Fury if he doesn't get to the center of the ring, engages with him, and let that backhand go and let Fury feel it. Because, you know what I mean? That's the only way he's winning that fight.
I'm happy you put this clarification, because the point I'm trying to get at is, it was, as you said, he was not known to be a heavy puncher until after the second Wilder fight. And afterwards, in the third Wilder fight, it was pretty much second verse, same as the first, put him in a hearse, whatever. That was the third fight.
Go on, Ivor.
Oh, I know. I'm just that good. And then think of his fights after Wilder. We have Dillian White, who's been a sucker for an upper punch since the day he was born, and then Chisora. So the point I'm trying to get at is, like, people are inflating his power to be now this godly thing, when the reality is he's just capitalizing. Exactly. He's not a power puncher.
Is he one now, though?
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
Don't shoot me.
No,
I'm not. I'm just saying.
No, he don't think he is. He can't be.
He's not confussive. What he is that, you know some fighters, you know, sometimes, you know, when you get knocked out, right? He's not a he's not a one-punch knockout merchant. What he does is that it's a build-up of pressure, it's a build-up of blood.
He accumulates damage.
He did damage because Derek Chisora was there to be hit. It was like, if you keep on getting hit in the face by big lads,
right? Kenny, yeah.
So if you're heavyweight boxers always going to hit hard because of the fact of their build and what goes behind their punches, and if they're bending their arms. But the fact is, Tyson Fury, if Tyson Fury was behind in his fight and he needed a knockout, you wouldn't put your money in Tyson Fury doing it, because he has to wear you down, and then when you can't take no more, then he goes bang. Like Wilder, remember the 11th round? Wilder couldn't take no more, where his hands were down, and then finally Tyson Fury went boom, and that's when he went down. It was an accumulation of pressure.
Right. So Ken, if Tyson Fury, and I know you think Tyson Fury beats AJ, do you think Tyson Fury beats AJ by a knockout? I don't see it. I tried to mix it up in my head, take away all subjectivity. I mean, it's not impossible. I can't totally rule it out. We do with
he can't eat the thing about it. He could knock AJ out, but the reason why he knocked AJ out is the way. Wow. If I was having a plan to knock AJ out, I would definitely. What I'll do is I'll wear AJ down to the extent that AJ he gets tired, or he keeps on taking the same sort of punch, and his punch resistance goes down because he keeps on getting punches, he keeps on getting caught, and then that's the way. It's not going to be a one. It's not going to be a one-patch knockout. What it's going to be, it's going to be a situation where
one-punch knockout Fury, mate.
Well, because AJ's got power.
Because he's got the power.
Yeah, but
people want to talk about the gas tank of AJ. His gas tank was questionable. But we've seen him go 24 rounds with I keep saying it, with the number 2.
He's gone to distance 3 times.
Come on. You got gas tank to do that. I'm sorry.
I'm not saying his gas tank will run out. The fact is, it's not his gas tank. Remember, his gas tank didn't run out against Ruiz. What did AJ was it was accumulation.
Yeah, but Tyson Fury ain't Ruiz, mate. It's not. It's not.
He's not. Well, you're right. Ruiz has got fast hands, but he hasn't got fast feet.
Ruiz is concussive.
Yeah, I know, Tom. But the thing with AJ, if Tyson Fury keeps on catching him because the end of the day, it's not your gas tank that normally wears down. It's the fact your punch resistant wears you down, and that in turn makes it tired. So I think that he can stop AJ, but it won't be a one-patch knockout. It'll be accumulation of AJ not being AJ keeps on getting tagged, and then
I think that's where they both go down.
Could do.
I think maybe they both drop each other. It could be a possibility like that. That they could both drop each other. I just don't see, because of what I've seen, iron sharpens iron. I just don't see AJ not being able to adjust to Tyson Fury to the level that he gets totally spun out of sorts.
He won't get spun out of sort, but I think it could be worn down though. I think you can still knock a fighter out by wearing them down, and I think that's where Tyson Fury can knock him out if he wears down AJ. But in terms of one punch knockout, no way, it's not happening. It's not happening. He'll buzz him, but he ain't knocking him out. He ain't got that sort of power. Do you know what?
Let me jump in on there real quick. The thing, I don't think.
I don't see it.
I don't think you can say it. Regardless of how I feel, like AJ, to me, he's been hurt, but he hasn't been I haven't seen him like wildly concussed. Even in the Ruiz fight, he was getting up. It just was a point in time where his legs would just betray him, but he kept getting up. And so even because I used to hate, because I was under the impression when people used to describe him fighting Dillian Whyte, I had thought he got dropped or something. All Dillian Whyte did was hit him with a good shot, and he kept fighting.
Dillian Whyte had him in trouble. When? It wasn't.
And we got to be honest, Klitschko, who probably for the last 20 plus years I mean, I know they want to bring up, but Klitschko's to me is the hardest. I've seen him knock out a bunch of fucking dudes, and he hit fucking Joshua flush. Joshua got up and then stopped him. So I don't see him get. I think it may be like, it won't be a knockout where Joshua's flat on his back. It might be some bullshit where they wave it off because he, like, maybe Fury throws a bunch of combination or some shit. But it ain't gonna be like Joshua's flatline Manny Pacquiao style or some bullshit like that. It's not gonna happen.
I can see Joshua doing that to Fury as well. Like, just because we ain't seen Fury in trouble like that, but I have seen Fury in trouble against lesser opponents. I don't care if it was 5 years ago, 6 years ago. ago. I can go back to Joshua's 5, 6, 7 years ago. I haven't seen the quality of opponents that Tyson Fury has been in trouble with, right, and dropped by. Anthony Joshua ain't. So I want people, just because they've forgotten what Fury's been through, like him being dropped and him being fucked up. But yeah, he won, but him being in big trouble by less harder hitting punches than Klitschko's and Andy Ruiz. Listen, Anthony Joshua will have Fury on Queer Street. Wilder is a different kettle of fish. Wilder is a one-hit puncher. He's got that thingy. But at the end of the day, I'm of the mind frame that Wilder's punch power is totally subjective to the fighter that he's fighting. At the end of the day, Tyson Fury did get up, you know, so that shows that he doesn't keep everyone down. And we saw that Tyson Fury had Wilder down by body punches, so that shows a very diminished punch resistance. We ain't seen Anthony Joshua get knocked down by no body shots. You don't really see heavyweights go down by body shots and punches to the sternum and then they're down. That you just don't see that. So I just want people to be super aware. Don't think that Tyson Fury is fucking floating and he's holier than thou and he parts the fucking Red Sea, mate. Anthony Joshua, styles makes fights, cliche as it sounds, has the ability to fuck up Fury. That's just it. Yes. Point blank and a motherfucking period. Mic drop. Shouts out.
Oh yeah, I agree with you, sis. I wholeheartedly agree with you. Don't get me wrong. You know, he got to watch out for that jab. The thing with him is he got to move that head more, keep it off the center line. Yeah, you have to. You got to move that head, you know, swivel it. And, yeah. And Tyson Fury has the longer reach to jab, and he cannot allow him to lay on him like that. For Tyson Fury, he's going to have to, I wish that he would train in like somewhere where it's more mountainy, where he can get up there and really get that, you know, get the,
the thin air that you're talking about.
Yes, because yes, because he's pretty strong himself, and he's a big guy. You cannot let Fury lay on you, and you need to let your hands go, knock that big motherfucker down.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But see, the thing with this community, with the boxing community that I don't like, and I'm not saying you, Kenny, they don't break the styles down. You have to break the styles down. That's what
I try to do. Yeah, you got to break the styles down. You can't just go Tyson Fury wins. How? You can't just go 8 wins. How? Let's just do like style downs, how both fighters can beat each other.
Well, I believe it's quite clear if those two ever fought, the Brit would win. Now, some people may ask which Brit, but I would believe it doesn't matter. The Brit would win. So,
yeah.
Shouts out to Ivo covering all the bets.
Damn straight, you know.
It's our honorary Brit. All right, let's move on to Kenny Ken, because Kenny Ken has been here 2 hours and he's got to give us the World Cup update in the building in the Eastern. Let's go.
Well, what can I say? I don't know. Even if you're not a football fan, if you are a football fan, the World Cup final is probably one of the best games of football you're ever going to see. It's definitely the best World Cup final I've ever seen. You know, for me, France were the hot favourites, in my opinion. Obviously, that's subjective. There's no proof that they were the hot favourites. But, you know, the performances, firstly, of Lionel Messi. A lot of people were saying Lionel Messi's the best player of all time now because he's won the World Cup. Again, that's an open debate because there's fans like myself who think that the best player in the world is Cristiano Ronaldo. There's fans either who, like myself, would go far back that saying that Pele and Maradona are the best of all time because I feel that I had the privilege of watching all of them play. Obviously, not all live, but mostly on TV. I've seen Messi play in the flesh. I've seen Cristiano fight in the flesh. So I think in terms of like, you know, who's the best player of all time, it's subjective. It's down to, what people's feelings are. Because some people think, that Messi had to win the World Cup to be the best of all time. I think that a lot of fans who are Messi generally believe he was the best of all time even before this World Cup kicks off. The same with CR7, the same with Pele and Maradona. But when you go back to this World Cup, I just want to say thank you to Qatar, because I think that the Qataris were disrespected by the West. You know, a lot of people were virtual signalling, you know, even up until the final, where the BBC, again, did not show the closing ceremony. I had to go to ITV to watch it. And then when Messi's getting the World Cup, he was given a robe, a king's robe, obviously, you know, which is a sign of honor and respect in Qatar. People were criticising that. So, you know, that's the negatives of the World Cup. In terms of the, you know, the surprise packages, I want to give some props to Croatia getting the bronze medal, but also let's not forget about Morocco, an African nation, an Arab nation, or Muslim nation as well. First time a North African country, an African country, a Muslim country, an Arabic country has, you know, first time they got to the semi-finals, and it's a big shot in the arm for not just African football, but it's a shot in the arm for you know, like I said, that Arabic football, and also, you know, for the Middle East, because one of the things we needed for this tournament was for a team with you know, from Africa, preferably from the Middle East, to do well in the tournament, for them to get to the semi-finals, and on paper now the fourth best team in the world. That is just fantastic. But we really have to talk about the final. Let me tell you something now. After 70 minutes, it was a case of it's one-sided. Argentina dominated, not just from in terms of the goals, but in terms of their attitude and their physicality as well. But they shocked the French manager, made two of the best substitutions. He was, unlike Gareth Southgate in England, he reacted to the situation. Even before halftime, he took off underperforming players, brought on a couple of players, you know, Kolo Muambi, and he brought on, you know, Thuram, and that kind of changed the game. But, you know, it was only when France got a penalty. Again, Muambi he's got the penalty. Mbappe scores, you know, the goal to make it 2-1. Then a minute later, he scores probably one of the best World Cup final goals I've ever seen, and it was all individual. And then I'm out my seat, I'm jumping up and down, and I think that was a time when France should have gone on to win it. Even in extra time, if France scored the third goal, I think they would have, you know, gone on to win the, you know, the game comfortably in extra time. But one thing France did is they fought the pedal. You know, they thought that Argentina were all down and out, and then Argentina got a second gear. When they went 3-2 up, again, France had to get that rear guard action and try and get themselves back in the game. And then when it got to penalties, there was only one winner for me, and it was Argentina, because, you know, they're very good at penalty shootouts, and their goalkeeper is just a master of what I call him. He's a sledger. He's basically what you call shithouse. He's a shithousery. You know, if he's not trying to kick the ball away, he's getting in your face, trying to put you off, and it worked. France froze, and Argentina are now the world champions. The third time Argentina have done it. You know, the first time they did it was 78, 86, and now 2022. So 3 times. And it's the first time a South American country has won it in 20 years. Between 2002 and 2022, Europe has been the dominant forces. 2006, Italy won it from Europe. Then it was Spain. Then it was Germany, and then it was France. So, again, if you look at the list of winners from the continents, it's very much dominated by Europe and South America. Although Europe has taken a bit of stand, because the two teams that I think are capable of winning in South America, Brazil and Argentina, haven't come to the party until you know, 2 days ago, where Argentina won their third World Cup triumph. But again, the biggest question is, and I've mentioned earlier in the show, who is the best player in the world? Well, the debate is still ongoing. No one knows. We all got our opinions. We all think our opinions are facts. But the good thing about it is that we're having this debate, and I think we should always have this debate. It's just like boxing. You know, a lot of people like to shut people down because, you know, they think that they're right. And I think that when it comes to the best players of all time, especially footballers, leave the debate open. argue about it to your grave. That's what I'm going to do. I still think it's Cristiano Ronaldo. I still think Pele and Maradona are better than Messi, but I still think I'm still going to want to be having debates for all of you guys on the panel, and having debates for anyone who wants to debate, because I think it's ongoing, it's subjective. You know what I mean? All I can say is that I'm a lucky man, 50 years old, and I've seen some great footballers, some of the best players of all time, and hopefully Mbappe and more players will keep me younger, and I'll be able to see some great players, for the future. But in terms of like who I think is going to win the next World Cup, you just never know. But if you want me to put my hand up and predict a winner for 2026, I'm going to say, well, with the conveyor belt of talent, you got to say France. But you know what? A lot of things can happen in 4 years' time. And, as I say, no one knows tomorrow. But roll on 2026. I wish the United States, Canada, and Mexico the best of luck. And I hope that as host countries for 2026, they put on a great show. But it's going to take, a lot to surpass that final. But if there's a better football game, let me know and we can debate it. Thank you very much.
Kenny Kane in the blood clot will dizzy. Let's ask some questions. So, who does Mbappe play for again?
Mbappe's a French international. He's currently the thing with Mbappe is that he's now scored. He was a Golden Boot winner. He scored 8 goals. He's the first player to score a hat trick in a World Cup final for 56 years. The last player to do that was Jeff Hurst in 1966. So that's another record. He scored 12 goals. He's one behind Just Fontaine, who scored 13 goals in one tournament in 1958. So in the all-time French list, had he won the World Cup by the age of 23, he would have won 2 World Cups. So in terms of him being the best player in the world, he's already on to that. You can only look because he has turned up for the major tournaments. But in terms of like his salary at the moment, he is definitely the highest paid player in world football. I believe that he's earning just shy of £1 million a week. But, a lot of people are thinking that his dream club is Real Madrid. And, I think that maybe a year or so I can see him go to Real Madrid, because I think that's where he can cement himself as the best player in the world. But in terms of like, will he break Messi's records in terms of goals tallies and Cristiano records, Ronaldo's records into the goal tallies? Who knows? But he's well on his way. He's already achieved a lot at the age of 23. And I think if he keeps himself fit and, still loves the game, doesn't get distracted, the world's his oyster, he could be another player who could be part of that debate and that conversation as the best players of all time. He's won a World Cup already. All he needs to do now is win a Champions League, win a few, league titles, score goals. He's got the world at his feet, this guy.
Yeah. So, and is he the one that's on $1 million? Is he the one that was on £1 million?
Yeah, he's on £1 million. He's virtually on £1 million a week, which is just money. But as I say before, just like I'm all for boxers and footballers earning as much as they can, because at the end of the day, they're the goose that laid a golden egg. And I say it now, had it not been for the boxers making all that, laying the golden egg, we wouldn't be in a podcast right now talking about boxing. The same with football podcast. Without the players, we wouldn't be having football podcasts. Everything we do in boxing and football is down to the boxers, and in football is down to the footballers. Without them, we got nothing to talk about, and I mean nothing.
Yeah, and the question that I was going to say with just flew out of my mind. The question that I was going to say about I don't think it was about Mbappe. Yeah, he plays for Paris Saint-Germain. Oh yeah, it was to do with Messi. Okay, so Messi can he now retire from international footy now and feel happy now?
If he wants to,
he's won over over Ronaldo, isn't he? So with 40.
Well, yeah, the thing about it is that that if Messi can still earn a lot of money. And another thing as well, it depends how ambitious he was, because, one of the things with Lionel Messi is that what his biggest achievement isn't actually winning the World Cup or all the goals he's scored. His biggest achievement is getting the Argentine people inside, because before, obviously, a lot of Argentines saw Diego Maradona as their god. the greatest of all time. I still think he is. But,
Yeah.
you know, Messi has always been in Diego Maradona's shadow. But one of the things that is counted against Messi is that it's a bit like Marco Owen with Liverpool fans. A lot of Liverpool fans saw never counted Marco Owen as one of their own. They saw Marco Owen of England. Like in Argentina, they see Messi of Barcelona. They see Messi the Catalan. They never really took Messi. They never counted Messi as one of their own. It's only in the last, 5 years where Messi, because he's made himself more available for Argentina, and he's, because he actually retired from international football 3 years ago and then changed his mind. But I think that's what got all Argentines behind Messi. Said, right, he's one of our own. Because, it was a case where there was a lot of suspicion about him. Because remember, he left Rosario in Argentina when he was at the age of 10, 11, and he's living in Spain because he had to make his fortune. So Argentines have never seen him as one of their own until maybe the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. I always forget that he's on. So where does he go now? Is he safe to retire? Is what I'm saying from international?
No. He's already said that he wants to, carry on playing. He's still with
How old is he
with
then?
He's 35. He still can win the French title. He can still win the Champions League, and he's only 35. And if you have to look at Cristiano Ronaldo, he's 37. He's still going strong.
Yes, Ronaldo's 37 now.
Fuck, he's 37.
First came onto the scene. That's crazy. And he was the kid. But okay, so Lionel being 35, next World Cup 4 years. Do you think he'll be in the next World Cup for Argentina? I
can't see that happening. I can't see that happening because I say it respectfully. As much as he's an icon and he's now probably on the par with Diego Maradona, Argentine football will have to be in a really poor state for him to still lead the line and still get in that team at the age of 39. And that's not being disrespectful. For Argentina, it's the same thing they're saying about Cristiano Ronaldo. At the age of 37, he's still leading the line for Portugal because, he scored nearly 120 goals for his country. But, age, creeps up in you, and I think it's going to creep up in Leo Messi. But I do think that Leo Messi is probably going to want to play a few games for Argentina in the capital, Buenos Aires. And that's when he's going to retire after. But I can't see him going to a World Cup at 39. But you know what? You can never say never. I mean, we've got a 37-year-old who's as fresh as a daisy, who still hasn't had a world title fight at boxing. And we talk about Joe Joyce like he's 27. So who knows?
Yeah. But Joe Joyce has got less miles on the clock than Lionel.
Yeah, but Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the reasons why they've been going on for a long time is they haven't had any major injuries, and they play in an era where forward, they've in an era where a lot of things you can't do a professional foul, you can't tackle from behind, you can't do the over top tackle, and you play on beautiful pitches. So in terms of them keeping their bodies in good nick, it's not an accident that they're playing to their mid-30s or late 30s because they haven't had major injuries. If you have major injuries, then
you're
unfortunately,
right. How old was Alan Shearer when he retired? When he 40? Shearer.
No, Alan Shearer was 36, but Alan Shearer wasn't on the level of Messi and Ronaldo. Remember, Alan Shearer had two major injuries.
I always liked Shearer. Like, he's just amazing football
player.
Yeah,
but the thing with Alan Shearer, he's had two major injuries. He had his first knee injury when he was about 22. Then he damaged his ankle when he was about 27. So when you have, it's same with Paul Gascoigne as well. If you can go through your career without having a major injury, then there's no doubt you can play to your late 30s and be as fresh as a daisy. Injuries in football, especially when it's around the knees and the ankles, that's it. That shortens your career.
Yeah. And would you say that Gareth Southgate is on like tender hooks now, for real?
He should have gone. He should have gone. I want him sacked.
Isn't he? Is he been sacked now?
No, he hasn't. No, Gareth Southgate. No, Southgate's decided that
to still do more rounds, is he not?
No, he's decided he wants to stay, which is a disaster because he's got on paper, you guys in boxing talk about resumes. He's got a very, very good, what you call record. But let's face it, in the big teams, big games. He's never been able to beat a big country. I don't care what anyone says. He's never been able to, in the big games. He's indecisive with his substitutions, and he's negative with his tactics. He cost his country. He cost England in the semi-final against Croatia. Negative, indecisive. In the European Championship final against Italy last year, negative. Even after going a goal up, and against France, he didn't make decisive changes. Didier Deschamps, who was manager in the opposite dugout in the World Cup final 2 days ago, he made decisive changes. He said, right, it's not working out. We're 2-0 down. Yeah. Let's make changes. That's the difference between an elite coach and a good coach. And Gareth Southgate is not an elite coach. So I want him sacked.
But what is it? He's got his contract, only his contract due to expire.
Yeah, his contract expires in the European Championships in 2 years' time in Germany. After that, we won't have to suffer him. But if he gets lucky and wins the tournament, it's a European Championship.
No, as a coach, who would we have? Who would you say if you wanted to pick a new England coach?
Doesn't have to be English.
Don't have to be English, and I was like, no, he don't.
Doesn't have to be English.
So couldn't we not have? Would you? Wouldn't you want it? Is it impossible to have an Arsene Wenger?
Yeah, he's too old, and he's earning how to say it, monopoly money for just going around wearing a blazer in Switzerland. So, and he's in his 70s as well. But you can never say no. He still lives in Barnet, and people talk about Mourinho. You talk about Pochettino. People talking about Tuchel.
I did say I'd say Mourinho, but my friend was like.
But the best coach, England should go for the best coaches available. It's great if it's an English coach, but if the English coach can't cut it, you don't want a second-rate coach because of his birth certificate. If his birth certificate says he's or his passport says, EU or Brazilian, you get the best coach available. Yeah, Dave. Yeah. I mean, it's a results business. I want to win.
Right. And who would you? Is there any names that pop up in mind for you if you like?
To be honest, English coaches. No, there's only 2 English coaches. That's Graham Potter.
No, you don't.
A couple of English coaches.
No,
couple of coaches.
You could pick anyone. Who would it be? Don't have to be English.
Tuchel, who just lost his job at Chelsea. He would do it. But again, the thing about it is all these names you mentioned, they don't want to be international managers. They want to be club managers. They want to be with the players week in, week out. If you're an international manager, you're only going to see them out of the 12 months. You're only going to see them for probably about 5 weeks out of 12 months.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a frustrating job.
Yeah, it's interesting though because I was having this discussion with my mate a few days ago. He's Spurs. I said, Kenny will hate you because he hates me.
That's great. I do hate him actually because he supports Tottenham. That's automatic.
I hate him as well. That's default. I'm like, I hate you. So I always hate him. I'm like, lucky you're my mate. I was like, me, you, and Kenny are the toxic triangle. We've got Spurs, Chelsea, Arsenal, but Arsenal and Spurs hate each other the most. And and West Ham and Spurs hate each other. No, the most.
That's passion. It's passion. That's the thing with football. I don't know what it's like with other sports in terms of like the American sports. I'm sure there's rivalries as well. I'm sure I don't know much about baseball, but do the New York Mets and the New York Yankees get on? I don't know. I wouldn't think so.
Ask you like American lads, who's got the big rivalries and what sports in your bits, guys?
They're heavy rivals. In-town rivals.
Yeah, they big rivals.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
The Mets won the Super World Series.
The Cowboys and the Jets.
Yeah, whenever they're in the same area like that, like even the LA Rams and the I forgot who that other LA team was. Those teams never get along if they're in the same area. It's always comparison across town. Even in basketball, the LA Clippers against the LA Lakers. It's like, no, we're the real LA team, and that's how it goes.
Good.
Yeah.
I love that. I don't like friendly rivalry. I like
We
the
like
thought
them
of
derbies, don't we, Ken? When it's
I
in the
like a
same
derby. I like the
area.
thought. I like the thought of the New York Yankees and New York Mets fans hating each other. I love the thought.
Oh, they hate each other.
Bitter. You cannot be a New York
Yankees.
Yankees
Beautiful.
fan.
Love it.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
Subway
it.
Series. I remember when they used to have it.
Excellent. Beautiful.
Ken got his super
I
villain.
love a bit of rivalry. God,
The New
beautiful.
York Giants and the Cowboys hate each other.
Oh,
From football.
Even better. Even
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
Don't
What
want all
about
that friendship.
basketball? What about people? Who's the big
basketball
rival?
has bitter right because the way it's set up is they divide them in the East and West already, but you are not like it's bitter rivalries. It's like you don't even wear colors of other teams ever, like in your regular garments. It's just like they don't do it.
Tottenham. This is brilliant.
We're the same. Yeah, Ken, you're gonna have to check that all out and get involved in it. Get involved in some of the rivalry. Have at least a couple of.
I know. But I'm going to Arsenal to play. Every time I go Arsenal Tottenham, every time I wore colours,
You believe that out? They even let you lot out and all of that.
No. Well, basically, when we go Spurs' ground, if we don't get there on time, we get a police escort to the ground, and then when we come out, the Arsenal fans from Spurs' ground, we get a police escort, and the police escort used to take us all the way to the station, and we used to have bottles thrown at us, bricks. People used to come at us with
Spurs, though. They all get caged off. They get caged off and thingy like.
That's crazy. Yeah.
No, we've all been. I've been threatened with death threats. I've had people. I had someone over the road breaking a glass, a beer bottle, and running at me with the remnants. I've had people pull out everything because that's Arsenal Tottenham. That's how it always is.
My daughter used to be in West Ham Baby Growers because her dad's West Ham. I'll ticket over. Yeah, he's Essex lad. And she's at West. We've even got the West Ham monkey here and everything.
Yeah, but it's serious. It's serious. He's got
them tattooed on him. The hammers. He's got them tattooed on him and everything.
Yeah. They're not messing about. And there's another team in South London called Millwall, and they hate everyone.
Oh, God, we hate them. They're so racist. Millwall.
But if you go Millwall and you wear the wrong colours of their ground, I've been Millwall.
I've seen Millwall hooligans fight other Millwall supporters in the Millwall ground. Millwall are trash. Cannibals. They are the lowest of. Yeah, they are low. They're low.
But the thing is, the thing with Millwall fans, they got black fans as well and Turkish. They got just as many. Yeah.
I don't like them,
so in England, I know in England we're talking prison sentences, death threat, GBH situations, and people scarred for life because you support the wrong team. Yeah.
The hooliganism in football, especially spanning from the 80s and the 90s.
Oh, 70s and 80s was race.
We had trampolines and stampede. Oh God!
Yeah, I don't think I would ever want to go to one of those.
Yeah,
no, you can go. You can go now because
now it's regulated.
It's regulated, and I think a lot of middle class people go to football nowadays. Or what's happening is that they were youngsters who were hooligans. Now they're all in their 50s and 60s. They take their kids now, and the thing about it now is that a lot of police now they infiltrate. Hooligan circles, and they pretend to be hooligans. So what happens is whenever they go undercover. So whenever something happens, a police already waiting for you, and then they're giving you stiff prison sentences. They're giving you banning orders, so you're not leaving. So every time, Or if you're an England fan, if England are playing abroad. What they do is they say you have to report to the police station on a day in the match and prove that you're in the country. So it's all stamped out there.
It's very regulated. What about that's a good one, Ben Adams, David Beckham for coach?
No chance, mate. Dave Beckham's all about, you know, merchandise, everything. Dave Beckham knows his worth, and you know he can't coach. No, not at all.
I wouldn't count him out of that role if he was offered that role, Ken.
No,
I wouldn't.
no, he wouldn't. No, at all. Dave Beckham.
Down anyway.
No, he's done it. No, Dave Beckham's no coach. It's not because of who he is. He just hasn't had any coaching experience. He doesn't want to coach. Dave Beckham wants to be a franchise owner. For instance, Inter Miami, he wants to be. He wants to own his own football club. So he's not going to coach at all. Dave Beckham.
America. So and America's hosting. You said America's hosting the next.
Triple host. There's triple hosts. America, Canada, Mexico. They all put a bid in, successful bid. So what's happening is that, you know.
So they all host it.
Yeah. So I think the United States have got 4 years to get a decent team because they've already got decent players. And they get a team because they've got to represent, mate. You can't be the host country and not do well.
Yeah, so who's like the American team ain't got a good team. But, you know, they did all right.
But they've got good players, though. They've got players who play.
So you got Mexico and Canada and America hosting simultaneously.
No, yeah, they're sharing it.
Like the North Americans.
So yeah, it's like kind of North America and Mexico, yeah.
Okay, so then they'll get a squad then. You know what I mean? Because they've got.
No, I think the USA. I think the Americans they're preparing for 20. It was never about this tournament. It was all about 2026, where you know they've got things in place. They've got players playing all over the world. So what they want to do is they want those young players. Remember, they got a young captain in Tyler Adams, who's basically he's only 22, 23. So by the time 2026, he'll be in his prime, and that's where you expect a lot of these young players who play in the leagues around the world to actually blossom. And that's what you know, because it's good. It'd be great for football and the World Cup if the United States get to the semi-finals because you know that keeps the interest around the country. And let's face it. There's no excuse for the United States not to do well in international tournaments because a lot of their players and coaches are coaching abroad. No excuse whatsoever. They've put enough money into the MLS. All right, the football's whack, but the players it produces to play in Europe is of higher caliber.
What time of year do they have? Is it going to be like the same time of year as this one?
No, it's going to be the summer.
Yeah, they got to, because if they put that on if they put that on now, even regardless of the weather, the turnout will be terrible. Football is in regular American football is in full stride. College as well. They would take away. Now summer is easier because the only thing that happens during summer is baseball.
I know it's always summer. The only reason why it was in winter because it was Qatar and it's too hot in the summer for them to play.
Okay, so they changed it for that. Well, yeah, that's the thing about summer. Give it like you may get some good turnouts there, but I think maybe why they're doing a triple host nation is because I know soccer is extremely huge in Mexico. If you put some of them games in like Texas and shit like that, they're going to have a huge crowd.
That's it. Orlando as well, you know, it's big Cuban as well. They like football, but the thing about the United States as well, the reason why a lot of English fans will come over, a lot of people from South America will come over as well. Not like they came a lot. England brought a lot of fans to Qatar, but I think the United States, in terms of you don't need visas to go USA. So as we speak, people,
we do.
You need visas.
You need extra visas. Yeah, you got to apply online too, and you get it for 2 years. Once you get you apply for it. It's something like 20 quid. You have to answer this big long online questionnaire thing, and then you pay.
I'm sure FIFA are going to sort that out because last thing football fans want to do is fill in forms. If you want to visit your country,
no, they've got it. You can't just roll into America willy nilly now. Nah.
Fair enough.
Not since 2011. Nah, they're not having it. And then you get your Extra visa. And then once you get approved for it, they send it to you digitally.
Digitally, yeah. Fair enough.
So, and then that's on your passport, and that's for 2 years, and you can come and go as you please for 2 years. Yeah. When I applied for it, 2016, it was 14 quid. So I imagine now in 5 years later, it's probably a lot more, probably about 25 quid.
Good thing about a summer World Cup, you know, the fact is that, you know, I think it's gonna you know, kick off, and it's gonna be a really good tournament. Like '94, the United States got the tournament, and it was very successful because of you know, it wasn't just the fact that the big European turnout. There's a lot of European and expats from all the countries, and remember, America's got a big Italian community as well. So they were happy that Italy got the final, even though they lost against Brazil. So that does help. And you know, Canada as well Canada's got a massive Italian community as well. Mexico, well, football's a religion there, as well as boxing. So you know, it sells a lot. But Italy have to get to the World Cup because they didn't get the World Cup. This World Cup, they missed the World Cup. Well, they haven't qualified for the last 2 World Cups, Italy. So that's going to be something they need to you know, sort out.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if we qualify because we're gonna.
Oh, England are going to qualify. Come on.
Yeah,
there's 2 guarantees. There's 2 guarantees from FIFA. England will qualify, but FIFA, as long as FIFA is going strong, England will never get an opportunity to host the World Cup. UEFA they'll host European Championships, but World Cup, FIFA have basically got in for
the World Cup then. So we've never hosted the World Cup.
Well, 1966 when England
but
England because of their stances and because of their virtual singling, I can guarantee you now, after the way the British went on with this World Cup, don't bother applying for to host another World Cup in the next 50 years. It's not happening. You're not getting it.
Why?
Because simple reasons. FIFA have got a complicated relationship with the FA and with the English. UEFA have got a great relationship with the English, hence the fact that they hold many tournaments of their tournaments in England. But in FIFA, it's not happening. Not happening. Yeah, England has been the massive critic of FIFA, of the ethics, of the corruption. You can't go and cuss someone and expect them to help you out.
They are, but at the end of the day, they're corrupt. At the end of the day, we got the money to pay for it, and if we pull out all the stops and give money to
it's not happening. Yeah, but your money don't talk. Your votes talk. And FIFA, England have got a black mark against them because simple reason is that they don't know where to shut their mouths. Fact is, where I've always been taught, don't bite the hand that feeds you. That's all I've been taught. Or get in the bed. If you want to get in the bed with you know, the head of Playboy, then even though he's old and decrepit, remember, you've got to get something out of it. England don't want to do things like that.
Well, he died now. He's dead now. US now.
Yeah, but I'm trying. Yeah, but you think about it. That's what you got to do. If you want to get on, you have to get in the bed with someone who looks like Herman Monster. England won't do that. They want everything done by the book.
Look how they do it in Qatar. They tried to tell Qatar what their rights should be and what they should support and what. Yeah, you know, England's always got that. You know, that fucking British Empire mind frame that we go anywhere and we tell people how they should live.
And that's why the rest of the world hates them. That's where we hated in the rest of the world.
We hated in France, we hated in Spain, we hated in Australia, even though they are Brits.
And in America. Americans hate us as well. They pretend to like us, but they go, "Oh, we love the way you speak." Not at all. You call us limeys, and rightly so, because we're arrogant. We're arrogant in this country. We think I'd
say America's the least lot that hate us. To be fair, maybe you got a sprinkle, but for the most part, no. Americans don't really mind the Brits.
But all I can say to the Americans is that thank God you took Prince Harry off our hands. Thank God.
Huh?
Thank God.
Why you say that?
Because right now with his Netflix shit, they're getting on our fucking nerves. Even though I've been defending Meghan Markle, but I mean, there's only a certain amount of defense that you could do, and at the end of the day.
You guys are welcome to them both. You're welcome to them both.
Like she walked in there, she knew she knew that Harry was a fucking prince, and she just didn't. She wanted to have the babies and didn't want him. She didn't want to do the fucking, the protocol and be a royal, and then she didn't want him to do it. And now she's taking him, and they end up taking the prince. Fucking, he's ended up on Oprah Winfrey and the Netflix. I mean, it's poor.
She take my money.
Yeah.
No time for it, mate. Oh yeah. By the way, before I go, can you people in the USA, can you extend James Corden's visa and give him and extend his contract for Saturday for his TV show, because we don't want him back. We think he's a pork chop. We hate his guts in the UK. Please keep him. Give him citizenship. James Corden, keep him.
Who is he?
We hate him in the UK.
Exactly.
We're sending him back with Simon Cowell. You get both of those.
No.
Back.
You can take Simon Cowell as well. There's a few Brits. You could, if you want, you can have Piers Morgan as well if you want.
Oh, please take him. Me and you was going at him, weren't we? On Twitter, weren't we, Ken? Yeah. Fucking pork chop.
I thought he was in Australia. He came back.
No. What, Jeremy Clarkson? You can have Jeremy Clarkson as well if you want.
Oh, you could take him from Top Gear, coming up with his, we just call him Top Queer, because he's fucking acting like such a fucking loser right now. The racism is rife in the building. Yeah. They hate Meghan Markle. There's all the racist stuff's coming out. You know, I see people, I was arguing with people on Twitter the other day. Some geezer was like, oh, she's a nutmeg. I was like, why? Because she's brown. You're calling her a nut. It's disgusting. But she ain't helped herself, mate, because
her and her husband.
I don't like her. But I don't like her. You shouldn't not like her because she's like half black. At the end of the day, you should just didn't like her just on her character. And her character is...
I really don't know much about her.
It's fake.
Well, that's and that says it all. She actually, the fact is that it was quite, laughable that I say this with great respect, and it's not disrespect to anyone else. I could tell you now, Oprah Winfrey, Serena Williams, and all these, A-list celebrities who are African American celebrities would not have had anything to do with Meghan Markle if she was not marrying a member of the royal family. Because before she was with Harry, I tell you, I could shit you not. I can't prove it, but I believe that a lot of people in the USA will never have known who Meghan Markle was had she not got with the, probably the guys in line for the throne of the royal family, because I never heard of her.
And I did, because she was in a stupid program called Suits. But, but at the end of the day, right? She was just in it all the time. She was just part of it. Not major, but she was a part of the cast. Yeah, so she was a prominent part of the cast. She wasn't a star though. And the thing is, and she lied and said that, when Prince Harry reached out to date her and all of that, and when someone was like, yeah, we've got a blind date, and and then she met him, Prince Harry. She tried to say she didn't know who he was, didn't Google him.
Yeah.
You liar!
She's full of
someone said, this is the Prince of England. You're not gonna, you're not gonna Google him and see who he's about. Or if someone introduces you as Prince Harry and you don't know who he is. She said, "Oh, I didn't know who he is and I didn't Google him." You're a fuck. From then we just like, yeah, you're a liar. So she's opened up the floodgate for everybody just to get at her.
Yeah, but I think what the problem.
Hang on, because there was she was caught on a previous years before. Lisa, mute your mic when you're moving. Yeah, on a previous show that because it really throws me off, all the rustling. On a previous show, she was caught before she went on a date with Harry, talking about when they asked, so who do you like out of the royal brothers, Prince Harry or William? She was like, Prince Harry. She said, when I was younger, I used to have posters on the wall of him. Then all of a sudden, fast forward, she forgets she said that on camera, and now she's come out and said, I didn't even know who he was.
Oh fuck!
I think what's happening in this country.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's happening in the country is that I think what's happened is that a lot of the sympathy she's getting, especially from the black community in Great Britain, is on false pretenses. I see it as on false pretenses, because I can say this, and it's in my opinion, but I never got the impression that Meghan Markle, when she was in Suits or when she was with Prince Harry, ever saw herself as a black American outcome. If you want to say black, so
is she biracial?
Yeah, but she ain't one of them mixed race girls that's got like some like wishy-washy looking whitish black mum, like maybe mixed down black. Her mum is dark-skinned black woman.
Yeah, the father's white. I seen her dad. Her dad is white.
Yeah, white. But she grew up with her mum, innit? She grew up with her dad. She grew up with her, but her mum is makes AJ look white. AJ, you're not even.
What I'm saying, LadyChann, is that she's never, you know,
she's never flown a flag for about black people. Yeah. Like on that,
it's up to her if she wants to do it. It's her prerogative.
Yeah, you're right. So why are we keeping all of a sudden now?
But what I'm trying to say, a lot of people are going back with her because, you know, they're going on this. Meghan Markle has always seen herself as a black American icon. She's never ever done that. But I think what a lot of people in the UK are doing, especially people like that Dr. Shola, what she's doing, she's latching onto Meghan because she happens to be mixed race. But Shola couldn't give a rat's ass about Meghan's background. The fact is that she's got into a situation where she's latched onto it, and I think there's a lot of false presences from Meghan and how she portrays herself. And how she portrays herself as a black icon, where she's fooled a lot of people in the UK, except for me and you, and that we should jump on a Meghan course. It's false.
It's false.
She's never ever seen herself as
and not that she has to, but I mean,
she doesn't have
but
to.
why are we caping for it? But why are we flying the flag
for her? But now she's seen a niche. She wants to grab it now. But hang on here.
Yeah.
It was never. You never once celebrated your black. Your black heritage. In fact, you were brought up in an English, in a white family, and you probably celebrate that more. You're probably brought up to think, there's no such thing as colour. That you're not mixed race. You're just Meghan.
Yeah. You look a bit more white, so you can blend in.
So I'm not slagging her off because that's her prerogative. But when you're allowing the British black community to claim you as one of your own under false pretenses, I object to that.
That's when I've got a problem. Me too. Yeah, me too. I'm with you, and I've started to realise that, and I was just like, I get it. Like, I'm not flying the flag for this woman.
I'm not flying the flag for her. I'm supposed to.
Yeah, the stuff that she's done. When you're marrying into the royal family, you know what it's all about. And she's, for the fact that she, do you know what, Harry? I know to use it and don't sound so crude, but Harry is just pussy whipped.
Of course he is.
He's just got a good bit of tail, isn't it, Ken? And
he's a prat.
It's spun. I can't believe how it spun him out of his position. It's spun him. He's on Oprah. Oprah,
as I said before, if he was just Harry Ramsden, if he was just Harry Ramsden instead of Harry Windsor, Oprah Winfrey would not want to know him. Who's the other woman on ABC who claims to be friends with a couple?
Gail King.
Gail what?
Gail King.
What? Gail what?
So right now, the British family have totally said fuck off to Harry and Meghan. Even when they come, they don't bring her around, leave her at the house. Yeah. We can't have her.
We don't want her here.
You had Prince Charles, who is King Charles, who broke all types of historical protocol records by walking down a black woman down the aisle, which was
what about the what and it was a bit of it was more like a jazz concert than a royal wedding, wasn't it? To be honest,
they had all the they had the gospel singers and is that as well. So they had the traditional stuff, and this is what I'm saying. The royal family guys bent over backwards to accommodate Meghan to make her they turned the wedding they had the gospel preacher, black American guy preaching. Like you would never see that in a British fucking royal.
She's trying to say that
I wouldn't even have that wedding. And I'm black and I'm British. I wouldn't even have. I'm not going to lie. I wouldn't have a gospel choir. That's not at my wedding. So to let alone you have a fucking royal family member that's like the third in line or whatever he was now he's probably like the 16th. But I mean, to have all of that, they bent over backwards, and all she did now do you see how they feel so much disdain that you've said, fuck off, we don't want to do any royal duties, and furthermore, we're moving over to the US and we're going to talk about all you lot's family business to Oprah, Blood Clot, Winfrey in the buildings.
And then also, let's not forget Gayle King. I am a close confidant of Harry and Meghan. Who the fuck are Harry and Meghan are nobody in this country.
Well, definitely
nobody. You could be confident in who you want. Gayle King, I love her. I actually love Gayle King because of her delusions. She's a very deluded woman. We laugh at her here.
Past wigs getting on my nerves. She's worn that wig for about 40 years. It's time to change it, Gayle. It's time.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, yeah, she's got to let that shit flow. So yeah, we're just really, guys,
I've got to go. But one thing I've got to leave you with, because let's get back to boxing.
Yeah, but those who want to watch the Netflix thing, watch it. There's a 3-part series. I've only watched it via a body analyst team on YouTube, and I couldn't even get through for them critiquing the whole thing because it was just a load of bollocks. But go ahead.
But one thing we'll say, because I've got to go, generally got to go. Yeah. One thing we'll say though is that when he talked about deluded person, Savannah Marshall, you need a mate because
she's exercised a rematch clause.
Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to say. Savannah, you spent after you got beaten up by Clarissa Shields, you went on a holiday to like Thailand and all over the Far East, and I thought it was a fact finding holiday where you're gonna, get to know yourself, get to know the truth about yourself. But you come back as deluded as ever, love. You did not. You got battered by Clarissa Shields, darling. You wasn't close. If you fight her again, you will not outbox her. She'll outbox you. If you try to come at her, she's gonna blow your head off. So stop kidding yourself that it was a close fight, Savannah. You got battered. Stop lying to yourself and trying to listen to people like Peter Fury and all these people. You know who she reminds me of? She reminds me of the kid at school who couldn't fight but has brothers and sisters as hard as nails, and because of the association, she thinks she can fight, but deep down, she knows it's not happening.
But do we not give her credit for giving us another good fight? I mean, we complain when fighters are not doing this, like fighters are not fighting. So I can't stand on her much.
But Savannah Marshall, I hate to say, Savannah Marshall doesn't believe, no matter how much Peter Fury tells her, no matter how much Ben Shalom tells her, no matter how much her best friend or a sparring partner tells her, Shannon Marshall doesn't believe Savannah Marshall that she can beat Clarissa Shields, because let me tell you something right now. They can build her up, fix her, but she will know from the first punch she receives in the rematch, it'll be a reminder of what she went through. And she went through hell in that fight. But if she wants to go ahead and get even more humiliated, go for it. Because at the end of the day, you've got to earn your corn. But don't stop lying to yourself. You got beaten quite comfortably. You lived off the fact that you beat her in the amateurs. And that's what you got. You've got a big punch. Yeah, you got a big punch. You can't box, Savannah. You cannot box, darling. You can't. You're slow and you just look for a big punch. You're a bully. You fight people smaller than you who are punch bags. And you know what they say about punch bags? They don't punch back.
They don't punch back, exactly. So shouts out for Kenny Ken in the building for all that breakdown. We've had you for so long, and I appreciate that you've stayed and rocked with us, Kenny Ken. Tell them where they.
I don't know. You've got another 6 hours to go of this, so I'm going to leave. I'm going to bail out for 3 hours.
Nah, fuck it. I'm off as well.
You can find me at Kenny Ken 1972 on Twitter and Instagram. So I'll see you guys soon. If I don't go now, I'll never go. Yeah. So I've got to go. Yeah, I'll see you guys later.
Shout
all right.
Later, Ken.
See you.
Ken, love you.
Love you.
See you later, Kenny Ken. Happy holidays to you.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry
all right,
Christmas,
take care.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays, bro.
Yeah. Shouts out to Kenny Ken in the building. Yeah, mate. Yeah. Gave us an amazing breakdown there, didn't he? So, yeah. Shouts out to you guys joining a little late. But I'm literally calling it a night because we've spoke about everything. I thought this show, because there wasn't that much content, was only going to be about an hour and a half. Every time I think it's going to be short, they're long. But but we got a good 3 hours out of this. And guys, I would urge you to join the membership, where we talk a lot about other stuff other than boxing. We speak about boxing, but we speak about relationships. We speak about pop culture. We speak about music. We speak about all different types of stuff, because sometimes, you know, you just can't always talk about boxing, and I like to talk about different things. So we do talk about boxing on the members, obviously, but I mean, yeah, we diversify. So if you, Lisa, are you able to put the link in the chat, or is it because you're on the phone? Will I do it instead?
Yeah, I had to leave.
Let me do. I could do it. If you want, like, I'll drop the link. Yeah, I will need the link that's always dropped for that, so people know where to kind of join.
Yeah, I put a few of them in earlier.
Oh, did you? You did it. Okay, so Lisa dropped the link earlier with the you know, how to join the membership for literally a happy meal every month. So shouts out to the group. All of us on here are in the group membership. We rock out. We have some really good topics and good fun. Also visit the Dun Season shop at www.dunmseason.com. Also follow me on Instagram and Twitter at LadyChann, LadyChann. Here's AJ One Day. Yeah, you're One Day, AJ One Day. I renamed him AJ One Day. Tell him why your name's AJ One Day. I don't know what tell him, Age.
What was it? Because I jump out at times, and I don't stay on very long because I kind of just dip out. Sometimes.
Yeah, I said, yeah, you're not AJ all day anymore, are you? I said you're AJ One Day.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Think about his name. AJ One Day. AJ One Day. Yeah, I can't. It's not. We'll see. We'll see. We'll build you back up to all day. But
yes.
Right now,
yes. Right now it's One Day.
AJ.
Damn, we got the Keith Thurman treatment from one time to sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I called him AJ sometime Thurman as well.
AJ someday.
Damn.
AJ someday.
AJ someday. You know, someday he'll return back to his full-time duties in the building. But no, it's only like banter, guys. AJ's.
I know. Yeah.
So we always have
yeah, always be good.
We always have a load of jokes, and that was quite funny. That it's changed it. Thank you so much as well, Ben, and you're one of our great members as well. So I massively appreciate you.
Shannon Briggs.
So find us Twitter, Instagram. We're all floating about there. Even all of us are. Most of us on the panel do have a Twitter and an Instagram, a Facebook as well. Shout me out on Facebook. My Facebook notified me I'm at 6,500 followers on Facebook, which is quite impressive. So we're growing on Facebook. That's quite crazy. Let's see if we can. Shouts out to the Facebook crew. I can see the likes. So I could, let's try and grow. We're just shy of 4,000 subscribers. It's been quite tough to get to the 4,000 mark. Getting to 1,000 weren't hard. Getting to 2,000 weren't hard. Getting to 3,000 weren't hard. But 4,000 seems to be. So like, comment, subscribe, share. If you ain't subscribed, subscribe, because half of you lot watch every single time that I'm live. But some of you lot are not subscribed. Bars. So yeah. So we want to get to 4,000. We'll do that in the new year, and we'll keep growing. So I will be on tomorrow. I don't know what the topic is. I'll see what the. I think I'll probably cover some Errol Spence tomorrow. With he said he's injured, and he's out for 6 months. I'll cover some. I'll touch even on some. Shall we keep it boxing on that one? On this, yeah, because you lot are funny. If you want some non-boxing stuff on that live, hit me up. Maybe direct message me. Let me know if you want some non-boxing stuff on that on the non-members live. I'm going to do last members live on Thursday. That's the stretches that I can do. I can't do anything else because I shoot over off to my mum's for the 23rd. With the rogues that are already over there, you know. So I'm looking very much forward to chilling with my kids and my mum and my brother and all of that, and eating all my mum's food that you lot all see that I always fucking post. So yeah, so this will be the last week of Come Box with CHANN until I want to say possibly the second week of January, but I will be uploading, you know, stuff, just uploading like news reports if I need to, feel to, if anything stands out. Because I've kind of calmed down on all of that at times. It gets a bit annoying. Like, we need people to always be participating, and it takes a lot of work to do stuff. Like, you want to be doing stuff and it doesn't seem like that. I'm not complaining, but at all times that it's appreciated, so you get a bit burnt out. So you just need a break. So I'm having a Kit Kat, and yeah, I'll catch you lot definitely tomorrow on the flip side. So let me thank my lovely guest that is on the panel. So we had AJ one day in the building.
Yeah.
You can find AJ on Twitter. Where can they find you, Age?
Yep, on Twitter. I changed my name to AJ one day for the time being as well. Chan knows. Yeah, you could just catch me there, and I pop up on lives, man, from time to time. Always a pleasure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, shouts out to my music crew as well. So the music that you see me promoing, that's going to be out of full promo hitting from I think probably like the third week in January.
That made my evening, by the way. So
that
made my evening. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're more than welcome. Yeah, it's gonna. I think it's making a few lads this evenings. Wait till you see like the proper video. God.
Quite a few jaws dropped. So
yeah, I know, because from boxing, isn't it? So when you see me doing like, yeah, is that what she does? Yeah. So shouts out to that. So shouts out to Team LadyChann done them seasons. So there will be some new music dropping as well, new video. So we'll be going for a 2023 release in I think about February. So stand by for that. So yeah, so stuff going on, and some other great stuff going on personally as well. So like excited for 2023 in the building. I would like to thank Queen Lisa. I was going to say LadyChann. Queen Lisa Bells. Thank you for joining me, sis, in the building.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're always welcome. Tell them where they can find you. You're on Twitter as well. Oh, she jumped off. Okay, well, Lisa's on Twitter. Just
I'm still here.
That was AJ. Lisa, where can they find you? Sorry, that was AJ that come off.
I don't want them to find me.
No, not on Twitter.
I'm good.
You good? Okay.
Yeah, I'm good. I ain't sociable like that.
Yeah, she does the promo for everyone, and if you do come across Lisa, she's usually promoting, you know, the people that she rocks with, channels and stuff like that with links. So shouts out to Lisa Bells in the building. And then we've got what up, LadyChann. We got King Edward in the building. Thank you, Edward, so much for joining me. It's always a pleasure to have you, sir.
The pleasure is all mine. You have a good night.
I know he's not really active on social medias and that, are you? So
no, I'm low key.
Low key like that.
If you found me, I wanted you to.
Exactly that. Tell them again. Yeah. That is correct. And then also we had Ivo in the Uzdania, my endocrinologist friend. I promise, leave it to me. Tomorrow I will have an episode of the first episode of Ivo dropping, talking about drugs in you know, drug cheats in boxing, because he studies all of these clomides and steroids and hormone therapy and treatments. So it's coming from a specialist expert opinion. So, you know, we diverse out here. Imagine we've got endocrinologists that are members in the building, and Ivo is a member here. So, you know, shouts out to Ivo. He's my guy. So yeah, you know, so this is how we do it. So I guess this is time. Oh God, guys, did you see when I had the Wi-Fi that just went out? My Wi-Fi the other day just said good night. Fucking God bless it. It was fucking crazy. But
yeah, that was weird.
It was literally a few hours later when I called them. They was like, I didn't realize I had a backup router, but you still had to, because these things always happen. It's just anyway. So I literally pay for 2 routers, the main one, and then there's the backup one, and they run simultaneously fiber optics. But the reason why they want you to have 2 is because they make the main one always drop out and do things like that. So they want you to pay a higher subscription. So I pay the highest monthly fucking, do you know how much I pay for my broadband? My old house, I used to pay for like phone, broadband, everything is the same package for like 20 quid tops. Just for my broadband, that's not even for the phone line, £55 a month. Can you believe that? That's like
it's crazy.
That's like $75 a month.
I pay that for Wi-Fi here, 70. No, 80. Because I get the highest
it's not
highest
worth it.
speed.
Yeah, and then you have to pay the phone line as well.
Oh no, you don't need a phone line.
Oh, well, I've also got a landline as well. So my one, I've got a landline as well. So by the time you get it up, it is probably about it's about 80 fucking quid.
Yeah, because Verizon is a little more probably. Yeah, but they all cost about that if you get the highest speed. Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't see no difference though. I didn't see no difference from
either
to the one that I had before. It's
just a scam.
Scam, and the only reason why I'm forced to pay more because I'm scared that the main one that they like to drop out, and then it takes 24 hours to reactivate, and then I can't do shows, can't do that. I can't watch my smart TVs because they all run on fucking broadband, and good shouts out to my lights and stuff. I got that on my phone. Like, you don't realize how much shit runs on your Wi-Fi and broadband. That is a most important bill or utility to fucking have. Now, before it was like, it is important to have lights. It is, you can. But guess what? You can't watch TV now if you don't have Wi-Fi. If you have smart TVs.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I can watch a bit from my Skybox, so I don't have a subscription, but gives me I used to do Sky, but I do YouTube now, innit? So I can watch like 3 channels, like on Sky, but I don't really watch terrestrial TV. But you just can't watch anything like if you don't have Wi-Fi. So it's crazy how the world has moved into this type of stance and position. So they've got us by the balls, these Wi-Fi broadband companies, to be honest, haven't they? Because we need really before, say if you had no broadband, who cares? You watch your telly, you on your phone, same way.
Yeah,
you just go on data like on your phone or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Now, you need that shit. You can't do nothing without Wi-Fi, fam. Nothing.
Yeah.
So shouts out to BT. He's got us all by the balls, you cunts. Anyway,
Yeah, so, it sucks, man. Yeah.
So shouts out to them. But hey, onwards and upwards, and it's something that we just got to do, and that's just life.
Yeah, but the only I'm glad for Wi-Fi, because if you using your data,
but this is another robbery that I've been robbed of again. I guess go to a section. Chad gets robbed monthly. So they when I upgraded my phone, because I upgrade my phone every like 2 years, 18 months, whatever, right? So when I got this iPhone last year, I upgraded. They gave me, because I've been a customer and a good customer for like 13 or 14 years. They gave me unlimited data. So
nice.
10 gigs and stuff. I went from having 5 gigs and then 10 gigs, and you have to pay like loads more.
That's nice.
But now they just give me unlimited data, which is cool. But yeah, that shit runs out, mate. Shit runs out. If you've got like 10 gigs, 5 gigs, mate, and you ain't got no Wi-Fi and you're using all your apps and all of that, 2 your data's done. Done. It's just mad how how dominant certain things have become in one's life. But hey ho, it's acceptance is key, and that's what you got to do, eh?
Yeah,
that's what it is. So I would like to thank you, Lisa Bales, for being in the building. King of King is logged out. Thank you so much. And you know how we sign
You're
off.
welcome. Yeah.
Massively appreciated it. Massively appreciated. We need to throw BT in the trash. They need to fucking go in the trash. But I hope you guys have enjoyed the show. Catch me tomorrow. It will be a nice trending topic tomorrow. And on Clambox with Shan, and we'll chop it up. You know, we're here to do the truth, only truth, nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Colonel Jessup, did you order the code red? You don't have to answer that question.
I'll answer the question. You want answers?
I think I'm entitled to.
You want answers?
I want the truth!
You can't handle the truth!
My bad. Also, I do return with King of King to do the and possibly AJ, depending on his availability, to give you the conclusion to the Terrence Bud Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. deep dive resume, and we'll let you know who. As you can see, there's 2 parts. Go and look, check it out. We really deep dive. There was no bias in it, so we're now going to analyze the data and present it conclusively who indeed has the best resume. It could be Spence, it could be Bud. You know, that's what we do. Facts and data.
Computer, establish a security code for access to all functions previously transferred to bridge.
Enter code.
173467321 Charlie 32 789777 643 Tango 732 Victor 73117888 732 476789764376 lock.
Security code intact for all specified inquiries and orders.
Computer, seal the doors to this room. No entry without my authorization.
Doors are sealed.
And shouts out to Canelo for absolutely getting his statue in Guanacastean. See?
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, nice statue, isn't it? That's a good shout out to him, man. So it's his night.
Get the fuck out of here, man. It's my night.
It's my night. It is indeed Canelo's night. So, as we said, knowledge. Oh yeah, but we're Lista.
Listos pe los chingazos! Listos pe los chingazos!
Knowledge is key.
Knowledge is key.
When I come back, I'm going to be having glasses. You get used to me seeing me, and sometimes in glasses. That's going to be fun. So if it go on,
So if it go on, not bad to see nothing because nothing not got one. Lock off your eyes, cock me, make you come.
Shouts out to LadyChann. And them the like we no like them.
Them not like me, some me not like them. Man, I figure set this straight and clarify. Put fire upon a pagan, aim for the cranium. Turn off the news, there's a bag of lies. Rose praise man, wanna inform up, fun Babylon and every one of them dirty guys. And if they wanna go around the order, I guarantee somebody's dropping flight.
That's where we're at, man. So I've been that bitch. Always gonna be that bitch. And not really that you can do about it. I am the female Spengali.
It's hate, you suck at life, you don't want a round 3. Worship the queen and your mic to pass. Keep it real, these chicks couldn't wipe my anyway, now let's go get Bulgari. I am the ultimate Bengali. These chicks can't even spell that. You hoes fucking repel that.
And thank you, Lisa Bells, for your donation. Massively appreciated. And I want to get the donations up to definitely break off Kenny, because I think he puts in such good work on this channel. Yeah, and so thank you, sis, for doing that. Massively appreciate
no problem.
it. Thank you. And so we could say, anyway, I'm gone. Hey girl, it's LadyChann rep nonetheless. Come box with Shan. What do we say? Gyan. Yeah, tell it. Yeah, and say at least. Yeah. And say Dembrock. Yeah, Dembrock. Best out of everybody, and everyone's like, Lisa, it sounds like she is a yard.
Dembrock.
Yeah, Dembrock. Yeah.
Dembrock. Yeah. Wagwan.
Go on, them, bro. I love you, sis. Love you so much.
I love you more, sis.
See you later. Lady Shannon,
All right,
Lisa
talk to you soon.
Yeah, I was talking to you on the flip side. Lady Shannon, Lisa
Yeah.
Bells.
Left the building.
Rah!
Rah!
That's right.
LadyChann.
Fight.